Good evening, everyone, and welcome. We are Random Encounter Productions. I'm Cody Stone. With me tonight, we have...
I'm Caitlin, and I'm playing Fable Frost, the Ace Genasi Phoenix Soul Sorcerer.
Hi, I'm Meg, and I'm playing Saride Landir, the Eladrin Glamour Bard.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Mars. I'll be playing Talroth Oakenblade, Wood Elf Scout.
Hi everyone, my name is Carlos. I'm playing Thozin Fahrenheit, the Half-Orc Tiefling Forge Cleric.
And I'm Kez, and I'm going to be playing Treasure, the Tiefling Fighter.
All right, welcome, everyone. Welcome to you out there. We are Random Encounter Productions. This is Disasters in Danger. It is our D&D5E high fantasy actual play game set in our very own homebrew world. So before we get into the action tonight, we do have a couple of announcements. Let's turn it over to Caitlin, see what she has going on.
We got so much stuff going on. So welcome to our new friends from TikTok or old friends who are joining us today. As many of you have seen, we have a lot of great new merchandise coming out right now, including we have stickers, fancy vinyl cut stickers. We have them in many designs.
Caitlin, are those waterproof?
They're waterproof. You know what else they are?
What are they?
Sunproof.
So I could put them on my car?
Even in Florida, you could put them on your car, yes.
What about some sort of tumbler or drink holding?
You could, and then they could go through the dishwasher, and it would be awesome.
Wow.
So there's that. We also have a limited edition embroidered patch with one of our favorite... Where is it? There. With one of our favorite designs on it. This is the Infinite Storyteller. It is a little dragon in an infinity symbol inside our D20 logo design. This is a favorite of dungeon masters and storytellers all over the place. It is one of our best-selling pins. We've gotten so many, like, it comes in a pin and a patch. Limited edition on the patch, though, because this was a Kickstarter exclusive. The backers have all had theirs packaged up and ready to go, so we set those aside. We only released a limited number of these right off the bat, but then once they're gone, they're gone.
Never
so
to be
we have two
printed
more
again.
They're never to be printed again. However, we have two more patch designs on their way, and that is the Chaotic Adorable, this one, and the, I was not prepared, Lawful Spooky. Those are both coming to you as patch designs. They'll be here in just a couple of weeks, and then they will be on their way to the shoppers by end of September, beginning of October. Speaking of Lawful Spooky, we've recently acquired a rented Glowforge. We are sharing it with our friends over at the Crafty Gamers shop. Look them up on Etsy. They make themed candles scented for your tabletop adventures. They're incredible. I'm obsessed. And they have given us access to their Glowforge. So we're making Lawful Spooky and other designs as coasters and these adorable little Bardic Inspiration tokens. Perfect for yeeting at your party members to remind them that, in fact, they do have inspiration. Roll with it, fool. So again, you can check all of those out at our website, randomencounterproductions.com/loot. If you're not feeling like paying for anything today, however, we do have a giveaway. We are currently doing weekly giveaways on our Monday Disasters show. Last week, it was some original art by Kez in the bottom corner there. Today, it is from our sponsors over at Norse Foundry. If this sounds like a commercial, it's because we're professionals here. So voice acting. But it's... I say we're professionals, I forgot all the words!
Voice acting.
So, we have been lucky enough to find sponsorship in Norse Foundry and their wonderful creations this year. Every single purchase of dice using our code REPRPG shows them that you love us and keeps that going, but they send us free stuff to give to you. This is an adventure compass. If you're here for this giveaway, partway through the night, Cody Stone, our dungeon master, is going to give you a magic hashtag to enter into Lay Chat. All you have to do is enter that and you will be considered for this amazing giveaway. Stay tuned. It happens partway through the night to make sure that we have as much chance as possible to get all your friends in here. Also, we have some viewer count specific giveaways, like that giant D20 pillow behind Cody and a D20 infuser, tea infuser, that if you want a chance at those being triggered today, get all your friends in here and we could do multiple giveaways if you're very lucky. If you cannot stay and watch, all of our patrons on Patreon no matter the dollar amount, $1 a month, $20 a month, $3 a month, whatever, you get automatically entered into every giveaway, even if you cannot tune in. So it's a bonus chance for you, because that is just a little way we say thank you to support and keep the dice rolling. Your Patreon fund goes towards keeping the internet running here at the studio, paying for our website, paying for our P.O. box sort of situation. It's all company funds, and it all keeps the dice rolling here on the channel. If you have any questions, I am your chat guru today, so I'll be the one talking to you when I can, when Cody's not trying to kill us. Did I miss anything?
So a big announcement for the Patreon tomorrow. A couple of small things. One, when we get to 30 patrons, we are doing another personalized art giveaway by the wonderful Critical Kez down in the bottom there, giving you the wave. It'll be a full body character piece with color, no background. And if you guys have not seen her art, definitely check it out on the social medias. She does fantastic stuff. So does Carlos, but I don't know if he's doing commissions or anything right now. So, but the
Not
other
right
thing,
now.
that's okay. That's all good. But I know that you guys have some stuff. We'll get to your announcements real quick. Tomorrow or Wednesday, on either of those 2 days, if you guys have not joined our Patreon at, I think it's going to be the $5 and up level, you may want to, because I am going to be starting a podcast or a Patreon exclusive show in which I go from A to Z through the monster manual and create epic or mythic style monsters out of all the monsters on there. So I already.
This is the first time hearing of it, so I'm very excited about that.
We talked about it.
You didn't tell me what the theme was going to be. I thought we were just going to talk at the people every month.
Well, we will talk at the people, but I do want to do, if you guys are not familiar, the Mythic Odysseys of Theros came out. They had a new type of monster, a mythic monster. So we'll be following that sort of template and creating basically boss monsters, a few tweaked rules to essentially have one monster versus a whole party, all the different character types. I know the A's are Aarakocra, aboleths, and animated objects. So those will be the first thing that we go through in there, and so it's a wide variety. Some are just like player races, like the Aarakocra, and then aboleths are already their own legendary monsters with legendary actions. But if you've ever run an aboleth against a party, it's not a combat encounter. So we're gonna see if we can fix that, and
we're gonna make it a combat encounter.
Animated objects are wonderful. There's a lot of fun in the monster manual, especially low-level challenges that we're gonna try to take those mythic rules, adjust them a little bit, give some people some more actions, give some people some fun things, some hit point recovery, and try to make a real boss encounter out of stuff. So that's going to be a show starting this week.
Does it have a name?
It does not yet. A to Z.
Is A to Z Monstrosities okay?
Yeah, I like it.
I need to design you a logo now because that's my job.
We will shop the first. We'll shop the name, and after the first show, we'll get it.
We'll let the patrons vote. I'm gonna take it to Patreon. So again, that'll be a public vote. So stay tuned, and I'll drop the link when I'm done.
Cool. Also, anybody else have announcements? I know Kez and Carlos usually have some stuff going on. Meg, do you have anything? Okay, sounds good. I didn't know if you wanted to mention the Shakespeare show that you did recently.
Hey, yeah. So we just finished Midsummer Night's Dream with CFC Arts. So if you go to cfcarts.com, they'll take you. You'll find links for it. Right now, it's available for download for $5 or pay what you will. It's the entirety of the text of Midsummer Night's Dream with some absolutely phenomenal actors. Some of them are local, some of them are not. And we just finished rehearsals for Much Ado About Nothing. So we're about to start recording that soon. And then we're looking into some projects that are coming up. Adam and I are planning some things for the future.
Ooh,
so.
Much Ado? What do you do of Much Ado?
You know, it's so funny. I don't think I'm technically allowed to say, but considering that we're about to start recording, I don't care. I'm Dogberry. The most ept cop ever.
That's right. And if I
Nathan
am not
Fillion's character, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah,
And Michael Keaton, I am in good company.
Such good company, ma'am.
And if I am not mistaken, that would make you as pretty a piece of flesh
in
as
all Messina.
In all Messina, yeah.
And one that has 2 gowns and everything handsome about her. What's up?
Exactly. So that is awesome. Carlos.
I have to quickly say something because
okay.
you have popped back into the chat. If this is the Kess I'm thinking of, thank you for the birthday duck. By the way, he's downstairs. And I love him so much. I haven't done a video yet because I got emotional over the duck. But that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Carlos, tell us about the Junk Drawer Show.
So, Junk Drawer Show is the other game that I play with. Live stream usually on Tuesdays live at the Junk Drawer Show for Twitch. And then you can check us out on our YouTube and our Instagram. The Instagram, we're actually starting to get a couple pieces of art, not only by me, finally. So it's really nice and fun to see other people's interpretations of our characters. If you guys can't catch us on Tuesdays because you're watching Cody's show, you can come and check us out on Thursdays on YouTube because we drop our episodes the following Thursday after we air. So check us out. Yeah.
Very cool. And Kez.
I was looking for the button there a second. I've just recently reopened commissions. So I am back with new price points, new everything updated for 2020. That will all be available on my Critical Kez on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And you can contact me through any of the 3. I do D&D art. So whether you want your whole party drawn or just your own character, you can go ahead and contact me for that. That means I do also do some fan art because I've gotten characters where people are like, I want you to draw Ford or Jester. And I'm like, sure. It's not out of my realm of things to do.
I was gonna reach and grab the line art of I think on top of the stack is a Ford piece you did, but it's out of reach. So I was cleaning
Too far away.
Yes, all sorts of fun things. Mars, I didn't mean to skip you or single you out. Did you have anything you wanted to add?
Let's see. To be honest, not really.
All right.
I've just been cranking out a bunch of homebrew stuff on the side, just fixing things up here and there. And then I heard about Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, and I'm trying to figure out what notes I need to throw out now.
Yeah.
Right, like she's coming out with, there's so much stuff in there that all of us are like, oh, never mind.
Yeah. Well,
I started catching wind of what some of the changes are, and I'm just, okay, these 5 notes are now marked for deletion.
That is kind of the way. It is exciting. It is nice that that 5th edition continues to see support in a year range where it's getting towards the point where previous editions would stop seeing support. 4th edition was famously pretty short, actually, but and 3rd edition, if you take all of its iterations together, I think runs from like 98 to 2005, so about 7 years. And before that, 2nd edition and stuff, most of the editions only run between 5 to 10 years. So we're getting to a point in 5th where it's like, well, are we going to do a 6th edition? But I think we've hit a nice, it's a great base, and rather than scrapping everything and restarting, having things like Tasha's come out where we can revamp and speak from common languages is really cool of them and really cool of Wizards. So I'm excited. We'll see what that book brings. There's a lot of cool stuff in it, it looks like.
We're gonna comment that second ran over 20 years.
I know second was the longest edition because
Yeah, so we could get there though.
Second is the weirdest one because it goes from like the original Little Brown books to AD&D into like AD&D second edition or
It was all the
reprint.
branches.
Yeah, it's the one that people are like, there is no second edition, but there is. It says it on the book, but I don't believe you. I don't know why they became like little bog hags, but that's...
Because that's how they sound when they get pedantic about it. Like when they came into our stream and they were like, but there is no second edition, but it was this and this and this, and we're like, you want to fight us on you want to fight us on the author? You want to do the math with us? They didn't skip it. It's not like the 13th floor in a hotel. They didn't just skip second edition.
Yeah.
They just...
So the books...
Other Carlos took them down that one time. He like addressed the audience and shut everybody else up for like 10 minutes while he yelled at them about second edition.
Yeah. It's the AD&D second edition revised handbook. Like it literally says it. It's okay. But yeah, second edition ran the longest. So we're getting into some territory. I'm actually hoping that fifth is able to just get a revamp, get a tune-up maybe, get a little 5.5 or something like that, because I think that there are some really good ideas from other games and other editions. Pathfinder 2E had some good ideas. I've heard that they didn't run with them as much as I wanted them to and stuff like that. Some action economy things and stuff like that. So anyway, that sounds like a good podcast topic for Le Patreon. So we'll take that discussion over there. Let's get into tonight's adventure, shall we? Woo. All right. So our adventure takes place in the lands of Lickdracht. It is a land of myth, of legend. It is a land bereft of the hard influences of deities. A land in which heroes write fate in blood. Our heroes are members of the Magnus Exploratorium, a college of anthropology and archaeology dedicated to helping the Republic of the Black Gem make meaningful connections and learn the mysteries of this ancient continent. Our heroes have joined an expedition led by their, shall we say, I wasn't going to say political rival, academic rival maybe, or a person that they have a tenuous relationship with, one Wyatt. And they have traveled past the Central Scale Mountains, avoiding pterodons, breaking up wildlander fights in the town of Trubluff, and they have made it to what is the cornucopia, the breadbasket of the civilized lands of eastern Lickdracht. It is known as 4 Point Farms. It is a massive area. I mean, you're really talking like 100 square miles at least, probably bigger, of what is mostly farmland. 100 to 1,000 square miles. So 25 by 20. I don't know. 100 by 100. That's a big area. 1,000 square miles. That's closer. That's better. It's always fun watching Cody do DM math in the middle of things. And they've discovered that there are, in and among the farms, there have been a series of strange occurrences. There was a series of bullet attacks to the east. Some of them have also been getting harassed by like goblins and had their shipments raided. That's not terribly unusual, but the bullet attacks are actually very interesting. Reports of odd bug attacks from in the southern two farmsteads, farm areas, and then they travel north to Point 4 Point of 4, and discovered wondrous farming implements. Rain tower, some other things that would like hill and harvest and really help them in the farming actions. Not that it was terribly necessary, but tremendous and wondrous in its nature. run by odd extraplanar constructs or machines. And beneath one of those, they have discovered a cavernous underground of mechanical wonders. And that's about where we're going to pick up. So you guys, 3 of you were here last week. Am I correct in that? 1, 2, 3. Yes. 2. Yeah. Okay. So just Saride and Thozen. Yeah. My bad. You guys have traveled beneath what was one of the Bronze Scouts touring or tunneling, burrowing holes, and you discover this underground labyrinth. And one of the rooms that you guys had gone into contained these large vats of you're not sure what. There were some runic controls on the handrails nearby, sort of would let you drain or feed them or move them around. You hadn't quite deciphered what that was. And as you guys were returning back to the surface to sort of let your friends know that it's more than just a dirt hole, you heard the concoction drain out of one of them. The glugging noise, very distinct through the deep metallic halls. We're going to pick up about 20 minutes later. You guys have made it back to the surface. For the 3 of you that were not here last week, it is important to note that you have had your performance review with Screebers. I think we'll try to start scheduling maybe little mini episodes for the patrons of just me and a player doing performance reviews with Screebers. I think that would be the best way to do that. So you guys are back with the caravan. You guys had traveled about a day from point 4 to point 3. You were looking for the missing... you guys had named him Starbuck. I believe it was a Mr. Burns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So take it away, guys. That's where you're at. That's what we've been through recently. Oh, your attack was in the middle of the night, so it is still late. That's right. Yeah.
So, we're just gonna keep on dealing with the weird out here, right?
Saride has to sit down. She needs to take a rest. So she's bundled in covers, rocking back and forth.
We're just short resting immediately, because...
Yep.
Oh, I apologize. You guys had... It was after the fight, you woke up... You finished your long rest. Or did you go straight into the tunnel?
I didn't get to go back to my rest.
Okay, so you went straight into the tunnel.
That's why I'm asking for a short rest now, so I can get some of my stuff back.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was short on hit points as well.
Okay.
So I couldn't
Yeah.
finish the rest.
Y'all
Go
should,
back to sleep.
y'all should short rest, or if just Meg should short rest. So if we can do that, we need one of our 2 healers to be on top of things.
I'll do my best. What accent was that?
That was you need to rest accent. Good night.
Good night.
No, we've lost both of them. I can't heal any of you. I have nothing.
Fable, we're good. We have a thing called preventative healing, which means we kill it before it kills us. It works.
No, honestly, I am okay. I can go
Every
with
time
you.
I try to make myself into a walk-in bomb and do that, everybody yells at me.
Like, I don't need the rest. I just don't know what the hell that was.
You were out for like 3 months and you're still trying to find it again.
You're not wrong. Yeah, so do we want to wait or do we want to go now?
Let's short rest. Short rest.
Let's do that.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm wearing my barge shirt, so I almost went, I'll play a song of rest for you, and then I remembered I don't do that.
It's not hit points. It's just I don't have my. Everybody gets 8.
Yeah, we need that. Thank you.
So.
Your treasure's just gonna sit there and braid Sarai's hair in the meantime.
Thank you, Twitch.
It's all good. It's all you can rest and look beautiful at the same time. Dozen, tell her she's pretty.
I mean, I thought that was implied. She knows she's
She
pretty.
knows she's pretty. Talk about what we're fighting, damn it.
I can't remember what are we fighting.
All right, so we were in this tunnel, and there were all of these jars, and they had different runes, and some of them were in Draconic, and some of them we think were in Infernal or Celestial or something, but we couldn't really read it, and some of it was in really, really old Sylvan, and they were symbols for things like vigor and stuff like that. Oh, am I jogging your memory now, sweetheart?
Yes, but I think Clever Stick touched better nose than I did.
Fucking cat. So that, and then when we were leaving, one of the jars sort of exploded as the door was closing behind us. We're not entirely sure what it means, but I'm pretty sure it's not something good.
But also, should we go back and check on it? Should we go back and, like, see if it...
Talaroth, you like digging in the dirt. Have you heard of anything like this before?
Would I have heard of anything like this before?
You can make a history check.
That would be an 18.
It is very unique. It's very rare. Underground metallic structures is not something you are tremendously familiar with. There's not a lot of elven lore or stories about them. There are some descriptions of Mechanus specifically that might sound like weird underground things, but that's a different plane. It's less a specific. That's not something you know of on Lickdrocht. All of these machines are kind of artificery, very old, something that predates modern elven society.
I have a question then. Sorry, do you share that with us?
Well, I don't know much about no underground stuff, but it could be a dwarven brewery.
Do we know of anywhere that might have a better understanding of these kinds of machines without sort of going to Mechanus ourselves? Do we know of any, like, is there an artificer college? Is there, like, somewhere that's a little more techie than us that we could maybe, like, pair up with and do some extended study with? Maybe there's another school adventuring out here on the road who, like, we can meet up with, like a field trip, and go try and find out what these things are doing.
Having worked at the college, especially with metalwork and stuff, would I know of any thing that she's probably describing? Like any other colleges or any other schools or something that we are maybe like partners with or sister schools with or something like that?
None that you're associated with, because the other locations that are part of the Magnus Arcanum are mostly old world, back on the continent. There is a Magnus Arcanum school in Novel Brectus, which is sort of the Republic capital here in Lickdrocht, but that is a couple of weeks back east. In proper Lickdrocht, of locals, you guys do know of a few places of interest. You or Howroth would know. Fianais the Naya is the preserved elven elves of the East. The elven societies in Lickdrocht were once a unified coalition. They have carved out different smaller nations. Some of them have declined, and some of them have maintained their grandeur. Fianais the Naya is one of the more isolated and probably well preserved of elven societies. So they would have probably some magical advantages, some educational advantages. You don't know if they are necessarily dwarven or artificers, or things that are being described to you. There is a dwarven Tig north of the Eastern Crossroads, which I now see I had not named, but I will do that eventually. The other places of interest that I'm just going to give it to you guys as a group, because you're all, I imagine you're all sort of sitting around talking, trying to
Campfire
figure
chat
stuff
while
out.
she does her long rest.
Exactly. Yeah.
Short rest. Sorry, short rest. Yes.
There are many rumors of wonders that come out of the Shadowed Mountains, I believe is what they're called. They are that's that mountain range where Dawnbringer is rumored to come out of. I call it a mountain range, but it's really like 6 peaks that just sort of pop up out of the middle of nowhere. It's on the second map, where that river sort of offshoots into a lake. There are some villages down in the base of those mountains that benefit from strange and sort of miraculous devices that would come out of there. There is there's an elven city sort of to the southwest of there. You can note them at the very bottom of the second Lickdrocht map. They sort of have cleared out the forest around them. Talroth, that's a place you would correct me if I'm wrong, but I know you are a wood elf, but are you more of the open plains sort of elven people, or did you come from like deep forest elf?
God, you can't just ask people if they came from the deep forest, Cody.
I can. I'm the DM, and I just did. So, meh.
It's a Mean Girls reference.
I know. It's okay. No, you're fine. I don't always know what references are. I'm sorry. Don't be sad.
You don't know Mean Girls?
I know. I've seen it like once, and there are times where people have said those references to me that I just thought they were being honest. So one of them I remember was at a party where they were like, raise your hands if Cody's ever been
If
condescending
you've been
to.
personally victimized by Cody Stone.
Yeah. But it was like if Cody's been condescending to you, and the whole room raised their hand, and I went, oh God.
Caitlin, you run downstairs and you hug him right now.
Nice. So yeah, that happens on occasion, and I don't know what's going on. We're gonna pause for Hug for a moment as I hear
Brace
her
for
running.
impact.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Oh!
She doesn't even go here. Get her out of here.
I am
This is what you all came here for. Somebody clip it. I can't. My computer's all the way upstairs. I can't clip it.
I
don't know how.
I love you too.
Okay. Everything's okay.
Okay, while she's gone, ask her question again.
I can't remember my question.
Talroth is from the deep woods.
Deep woods. Okay. So you're actually, so you probably would be loosely related to the fine, nice, elves, probably to the south, and the southern portions of Lichtracht are infested with ancient, set homesteads. Snake people. What are they called?
Yuanti?
Yuanti? Naga?
Thank you. Yuanti. Yeah, Yuanti. City-states, maybe, is a better word for it. They used to be a great nation, but that's long past. Long past. So.
I thought Yuanti were only in the sea.
No. That's
The snakes are everywhere, Megan.
that's Sahuagin.
Thank you.
I think that's who you're thinking of. Sahuagin are the
That
shark
is who I'm
people.
thinking
Yuanti are the snake people.
Heroes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Sharks v Snakes.
That's a sci-fi movie if I ever heard one.
I hate it.
It's the sequel to Snakes on a Plane. Snakes on a Shark. Just predators everywhere.
The ancient Hobgoblin capital, also on that map too, used to have battle magic schools. Hobgoblins were known for their war engines and innovations for that, very much in their fight against the Republic of the Black Gem. So, like, there are these options, but they're all political factions that the Republic has minimal contact with right now, and that sort of is part of the purpose of the Magnus Exploratorium is not just the archaeology, but the anthropology. So.
So, do we want to try to go back down?
I mean, you said that some of it was written in Infernal or Draconic, right?
I'm guessing I don't speak either, and none of us did either, so...
That's
Well,
fine.
I read the Infernal part. I don't
I
remember what
speak
it said.
Draconic and Infernal.
My question is this. Might it be worth going back to examine the wreckage like a crime scene, or might it be worth instead just moving forward? Because if all these things going to keep happening, we've been trapped in exploding sort of tunnels more than once. Does this look like Otto's work?
No,
Just making sure.
it's far
Good.
too old. And
Maybe he's older than we thought.
his stuff isn't this sophisticated.
Maybe he wanted to be this. Maybe he was trying to learn.
Well, he's also not here to watch. I think
Also
that's very much part of it for him.
But a weird voyeuristic sort of hobby for him. So the vote is this then, I believe. It's go back down and reinvestigate, or keep moving forward. Is that what I'm getting?
I'm
think
fine with
so.
either.
All right, show of hands. Who would rather keep on pressing on and go on to the next task? Who would rather... Okay, well, so I don't have to ask. Who would rather go back down and investigate? If Wyatt really wants to go, he can go look. But right now, if we're going to keep going forward, and we come back by here in a couple of months and there's a giant smoke snake monster made of explodey bits, then we'll know what happened. So, you know. And if not, it's not going anywhere.
Is Grievers here?
Don't send him in, that's a horrible idea. He would just make a new home of broken glass jars. And death.
You can find Screebers if you want to. Yeah, he's usually close by. He's not immediately in this conversation. Unless you guys have invited him to be.
No, I just look around.
Okay. He's in his wagon.
Got it. But I also look over at Saride and just like in her ear just really quickly whispered, "Did we just have our first fight?"
She'll message, technically this is our second, and it's not fucking finished.
Got it.
So, you guys rest throughout the evening, and you recover your hit points, you recover all of your abilities as necessary. You do wake up the next morning, a little later in the day, is your rest.
As is necessary. Sorry.
You're fine.
Fucking, thank you for that. Because you have to. You wake up and you have an adventure.
No, you're fine. So, you guys decide to continue on. Question for you, so that I am clear on what continue on means. The initial thing that you guys were doing last week was traveling from, if you were looking at the map on 4 points, you were going from point 1 to point, the one at the farthest east to the north. You were at the northern point, you were going to the farthest western point. You were on that trek in the middle of the path when you were attacked, and you were doing that in search of Burn. You guys continuing along that trek to look for Burn?
Yes. At least that's my understanding, unless there's something else y'all want to do.
No, I feel like we're picking up a lot of side quests right now, and focusing is fine.
Okay.
Especially if he is tied, because he's the one who we believe was claiming, oh, I can fix you guys, and he was pulling the Rain Man, leap of faith, 110 in the shade kind of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm good with finding him and figuring out if he's at the root of all of this.
Awesome. So, you guys do continue on. What are your passive perceptions?
Not good, but 11.
18.
18.
The elves see all.
11.
Okay.
The rest of us do not.
As you guys are traveling, the two elves, Saride and Talroth, you guys do see before anyone else, and it's a bit out of the way. It's off the main paths between the farms, and it's deep in... You had first noticed that there was disrupted stalks of, I'm going to say corn, maybe potatoes, something that has very tall stalks.
Corn, wheat.
Yeah, something along those lines. You guys had noticed out in one of those fields, there is... looks like an area that has been kind of run over or flattened. And you can see as you get a little closer, you can see the portion of the road where it looks like a wagon or a cart of some kind has been dragged or driven off the main path into the fields.
in Sylvan. You see that, yeah?
Yep.
Let the others know.
Yeah, last time I came across a wagon on the side of the road, damn near got our asses kicked. I'm gonna go check it out quiet like. Why don't you let everyone else know? I'll be right back.
Please be careful.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hood up and just try to sneakily make my way towards it.
All right, make a stealth check.
Waking people up.
Fable, Fable. We were asleep. Yeah.
No, you guys
we
are
were already
awake.
traveling.
Yeah, you
Then
guys are
Fable,
awake.
not knowing what they're seeing, but noticing that Talroth is sneaking off, just kind of up to Soridans. So he's still mad at me then? He just doesn't even want to... I don't see any... I'm just like, oh, he snuck away. Whoops.
You may want to talk to him a little bit later. You did snap.
Well, it was my turn. And
You
now,
know-
now Thosen hates me too! He just vanished! Everybody hates me!
No, and that's fair about being your turn and all, but Fable, you know he was right.
Being right is one thing, the way you handled it is something different. And you know what? We've all been right and wrong at different times, but it's a bit unfair that I'm the one who's not allowed to make a mistake, and everybody else has been allowed.
That's not what anyone's saying at all, darling, I promise you. He's allowed to be salty if you snap. You would be too. You were.
She just kind of looks down at her hands, embarrassed that they're kind of flickering flame a little bit, and she just sort of tucks them in to put out the fire.
You know, I think if you spent more time with Thosen, he might be able to help you keep it under control.
He's been trying. It's hard when I get all up in my head. It's fine. Anyway, sorry to bother you. I'll go back.
You're not a bother. Just keep your eyes out. Something's up.
She very literally looks upward. Where?
Oh, honey. Okay. And she'll redirect her face out over the cornfields. There you go.
Oh, great. Okay, so he's gonna die alone. This is what I'm fucking talking about! She'll still keep an eye out and she'll play it cool.
29 on stealth, by the way.
Wonderful. You are moving very quietly, very cautiously, slipping between the stalks of corn and wheat or whatever it is that fantasy people eat. As you are making your way through there, you begin to smell there is something off. It smells like a little bit of old fire. Something had been burnt. Not like something is currently burning. It's not currently on fire, but you know, maybe like an old piece of wood or something. You can smell that. You can also smell a couple of other pretty pungent fragrances. One is vinegar. That is very strong in its nature, and then there are a couple of the vinegar mixes with like a very maybe like patchouli, like a very earthy kind of smell. Yeah. That's what you get. That's what you can smell before you see anything, because it is dense, and these are usually pretty like clear rows and columns of corn and things. Also, make me a survival check.
23.
Okay. You make out that there are some of those little spike holes that the bronze scouts had made. Is everybody familiar with what the bronze scouts look like? I had shown them last week. I will see if I can pop up another one.
Are they the cobras?
They are not. They're the little bug things.
Little like cockroach looking
They're
things.
medium sized, so they're not. They're not. They are unfortunately not small, but yes. Let me see here. What would you like to do, Talroth? Do you want to keep moving forward, or do you want to go back for the rest of the team?
Just gonna very carefully peek forward.
Okay. So you want to proceed until you get like to the edge of whatever is there.
Yeah, just not to get into the clearing, but just kind of staying hidden in the field, just to kind of see what exactly it is. If it's like a wagon that was on fire, or a campfire, or something.
Absolutely. So you continue to creep forward very quietly, very cautiously, and just as you begin to sort of poke your head out, you see in the, it's not even a clearing, but like in the wreckage, right, there is a rather large wagon. It is maybe twice as long as one of your traditional wagons. It's seemingly turned on its side. It has 6 wheels, 4 very close together in the back, sort of like trucker style, if that makes any bit of sense, and 2 more on the front. You can see on their scorch marks and scorch marks and bits of the wood and the metal that is burnt, blackened, sort of charred very quickly. You can only see, you're sort of looking at the underneath side, and you can't really make out much else without getting closer.
Does it look like anybody's been there recently, or is there any still wood that's smoldering?
It's not smoldering.
At least that I can tell.
It's not smoldering. It's not. It wasn't on fire last night. It's probably been, without inspecting, that's as much as you know. Yeah. So here we go. If I can do this properly, that one. All right. Popping that up right there. So for those of you guys that have never seen a bronze scout before, that is what it is. It is a medium-sized creature, and I hope you can see my mouse. These little spiky bits let it climb and burrow. So like it'll burrow, but it can travel vertically. And
Thanks, I hate it.
So yeah. Saride and Thozen, you guys had fought one on last week's session, and you know that they carry a pretty dangerous electrical charge that bursts out of it.
Was this the one, if I remember correctly, that I knew that non-magical weapons didn't affect it, or was that the other one?
I actually think that's both of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe that's both the constructs. The other one that you guys ran into was an iron cobra. I can hunt down a picture. It's basically a big cobra. big, slightly metal cobra. Right. So the bronze scouts are a little. That's difficult to describe. I don't know how to. Are they legs? Are they wheels? I don't know what it does.
Yes, and all of it needs to die.
Talroth, what would you like to do? You're right on the edge. You're still heavily obscured. You haven't poked your head out or anything like that. You're seeing sort of through these leaves, the scorch marks. You're seeing this thing overturned. Those fragrances, those smells are stronger. You assume that they're coming from the wagon, but that's kind of where you're at.
Yeah, the last overturned wagon definitely set off some bad memories on that one with them gnolls. So I'm gonna carefully sneak my way back. So still keeping in the corn, but going back to the road and just following the road while I'm in the field.
Okay.
Pretty much back to everyone else.
Okay, you're heading back to everyone else. I don't think you guys stopped the caravan, did you? You guys were just still moving, or Sarai, did you give the signal for the caravan to stop?
I stopped them.
Okay. Sounds good. Talroth, you make your way back. Is there anything important you guys want to be doing while he's checking the scene out the first time?
I am just going to prep a spell in case it looks like he's in trouble.
Okay.
Like, if it looks like he is going to get attacked by something, I would like to be out of the corner of my eye with like a long range spell prepped.
Okay.
I can let you know which one it is when I figure it out, but yeah.
Well, yeah, probably a cantrip, because otherwise, if you're concentrating on a spell like that, and you either have to shoot it off or let it
Well,
go.
is he within 120 feet? Because I can firebolt.
You're not sure. You can't see him once he obscures himself in the corn. He's too stealthy for you to know.
And I know he is hard to see, but she's still gonna try to keep her eyes out for anything that looks like something's moving.
Mm-hmm.
Because I might see it better than anybody else.
Yeah. Carefully and following the waving of the corn in the wind, Talroth does make his way back to the caravan.
Retroactively, I totally forgot about my Blessing of the Forge was on Clever Stitch. If Talroth is wearing armor, I'm going to give the +1 bonus to his armor.
Sounds good.
Yeah, also, when I was making my way back to the caravan, I would have gone a little past our wagon and hopped into the back of it to get my scimitar out of there.
Okay.
So, yeah, just kind of pop up behind Sarai, like, all right, so there's a broken wagon over there.
Do you not like wagons? Is this something I didn't know?
Are an ass. You are an ass.
Okay, how come you're allowed to be mad at him?
Because I don't have time to discuss interpersonal relationships and communication with you right now. We'll do that when we get to our next big stop. How's that? We'll all have a nice sit down. I will also explain sarcasm to the group, since apparently none of you fucking understand that. Huh. So, what did you see?
Wait, was that sarcasm? It sounded like it was sarcasm.
She's just gonna go walk behind Thosin and start hitting his back, which does absolutely nothing, because she's basically a kitten.
I cast Calm Emotions on her. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That's cheating! You saved that for when you two were fighting, which is also cheating. Don't do that, kids.
All right, so I see I might have come in at a wrong time, so I'm just going to go find treasure real fast, and I'll fill you guys in a minute. I'll be back.
Treasure was just chilling in one of the carts, because honestly, while she worries for Talroth, she understands that he is perfectly capable of keeping himself hidden in there, and far more capable of keeping himself safe in there than she is.
Hey, so you know that knoll ambush that we ran across a while back?
Yeah?
Yeah, we got another fucked up wagon. This one's got some burn marks on it.
Another knoll ambush, you think?
I don't know, might be a little too far out for them, but I mean, this wagon's fucked up and it smells like piss. No, wait, not piss, vinegar. I thought maybe that is piss. Either way, there's something wrong with the smells over there.
Think it's worth anything, or should we keep moving on with it?
I don't know. I mean, thinking maybe just a quick little scout in. I mean, I didn't want to rush in by myself again, because ow.
That is fair. Granted, as soon as my glorious golden ass starts going through those glorious golden rains, like waves, we are going to alert everything that is in the area.
Which is why I figured to give you the heads up now to get your ass ready in your armor so we can get over there, and then I'll try to sneak in a little further to maybe liberate any goods that might not be nailed down. If there's anything left, that is.
That is fair. And she kind of jumps off the cart and stretches, like just basic cat type almost stretch. Tinks her armor. I'm good.
All right, so we might want to pick up the kids because it looks like they're having a bit of an argument. I think it was.
Treasure takes the reins because she was probably driving that second cart, drops it in Olarune's hand. Be good. Watch the cart. I'm going to go either beat the crap out of something or watch something hysterical. I'm not sure which is happening yet.
As she starts walking away, I'm just going to look at Olarune and bounce another coin off Treasure's ass.
Treasure is the embodiment of I'm going out to get ice cream or commit a felony. I'm not sure which yet. Like, she is just...
What are you guys up to?
Yeah, I'll make my way back over to the other car and let them know what I found.
That doesn't sound like gnolls. It sounds like the things we were fighting last night.
Yeah, you mentioned those. Did you kill all of them, or is there possible something, another part of a herd nearby that we've got to worry about? Because if they are attacking things, it might be best to hunt them down before they can hunt us down.
Well, all the ones in the vicinity, whenever they were attacking, we took care of. But
Well, yes,
that
but
is not to say that there could be
there's
more
not an
around.
offshoot somewhere else, you know.
Correct.
Listen, my face was buried in the last remainders of whatever pie Screebird made. These things travel in herds.
Well, there was not just one, there was a handful, and not only that, but they are pretty much immune to anything that's non-magical. So if you have a weapon and you have it magical, it would be preferable.
Oh, good.
Adamantine.
They
also
were
works.
affected, but adamantine. Oh yes, adamantine will also be. They are susceptible to.
That is good.
Like I said, if they're out here, I'd rather we have the drop on than them having the drop on us. So we can either keep going or try to hunt down this pack that's obviously attacking caravans.
DM, did no one went invisible around these things, right?
I'm sorry, what?
No one last week's session. I'm trying to remember. I play too many games. Went invisible around them that they
No,
probably have blind sight. No, okay.
none of
That's
us
what I thought.
can. Yeah.
Not that I remember, no. What I would say is that you do remember that the Bronze Scouts had a electric attack that worked through the floor.
It hurt like hell. Yes, that. It was not a pleasant experience.
And the cobras have poison or just a bite attack?
A poisonous bite. The cobras were actually far less effective. It was when the Bronze Scouts
No.
did a ton of
'Cause
electricity.
The poison was what had Sirach restrained.
Yeah.
Cool. So that.
Sorry, I'm trying to remember if I prepared something to help everybody, but I did not.
That's fair, because if we're just gonna run into a problem that's gonna down us all that we could avoid, it would be safer to avoid it. But if we're able to deal with it, then yeah.
And I can't remember any elemental thing that they were susceptible to.
We didn't really have any element though. Like, yeah.
No, we
Hello, I'm here now. Let's go.
Yeah, I would suggest not doing electric because they did electric.
It's the one I don't have.
You're not wrong. But I'm pretty sure necrotic isn't going to do anything to them because they're not really, they're constructs.
Hey, how did they stand up to fire?
We didn't really fire, did we?
Well, if you mentioned that it looked like the cart had sort of been burned, one of two things happened. Either they can create fire, or someone tried to burn them away. So it may not have, if there's no one left alive in the caravan, that leads us to two things. One, either they abandoned it and ran, which if you didn't see any corpses, may have happened. Or they all just got burned and eaten alive by these things, and it didn't really help.
Yeah, because there was no fire involved the last time we interacted with them.
So maybe we just keep going and keep an extra sharp eye out for these things. And nap in the trees at night.
I kind of like the idea of cutting him off at the pass. At the very least, telling Wyatt about it, stopping for just a little bit so that we can take care of this mess. Because the last thing we need is another situation with the wyverns in the ravine.
All right. Yeah.
Any thoughts?
I'm good with it if you all are. Like I said, I don't want to get us in any more trouble than we have to be, but I also don't want to be caught unawares later. Or let these poor farmers keep getting attacked. That's kind of what we do, right? We're meant to be heroes. Probably killing these things before they take out more innocents is really important.
Pest control.
Yeah, pest control! Fantasy pest squad, let's go!
You got a bug problem, ma'am?
That's
Don't
all
worry.
dragon slayers are. That's all dragon slaying knights really were. St. George was just the first pest control guy.
Just saying. If we didn't already have a name for this group, pest control is not a bad idea.
But thank God we're already the archivists. I mean, one of our first missions was killing those wasps, so maybe that would have been more effective.
AKA pest control.
Ah!
I'm gonna message Wyatt and tell him what's going on.
Okay. So you guys are going to check out the caravan, is that, or the cart? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good.
What
You
I was
guys-
going to suggest, look, how about everyone keep a hair back? I'll try to sneak up again, because if this turns out to be nothing, then no sense in all of us just kind of spending time out there. So I'll just take a quick look-see. If shit goes wrong, I'll yell out something like, I don't know, Yahtzee or some bullshit. I'll just make up a word.
No, we can't use that one. That's...
Sounds trademarked.
yeah. Trademarked-ish.
What about Ziyat?
How about I go fuck, treasure, kill it?
That's all of our war cries all the time, I feel like.
All right, so hood it back up, and as long as I know where everybody is and they're ready, I'll start sneaking my way back in.
Okay. Make another stealth check.
Whew, that's a 23.
Okay. Yeah, not as quiet as before, but you do lead the way back in. How much room distance are you guys giving Tauroth?
No
I
more than
want-
30 feet.
30 feet? Okay. The rest of you that are traveling in, are you coming in a line? Are you kind of fanning out? What is your approach?
I'd like to fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's not clump. That's a good way to all get eaten at once.
Well, especially with the electricity thing.
Exactly.
So Talroth is in the center. Who's going left? Who's going right? Left. Left. Not left, right. Okay. So, got it.
I'll be closest to Talroth, though, because I want to be able to run in and bash this thing
Okay.
if he gets in trouble.
Okay. Sounds good. Talroth, you make your way in. You can hear the guys behind you. Everybody else, would you guys like to make stealth checks, or are you just traveling?
Yes, please.
Yes,
I can
please.
certainly try.
Sure, go for it. Make the effort.
Same.
15.
Natural 20! I am the grass! For once, Fable and her tiny, tiny, tiny ice and fire body is like, gone. Like,
The ride.
15.
Thosin.
Well, first I rolled a natural 17, and then I rolled a natural 2, so that'll be 4.
Okay. And Treasure.
6.
6. Okay. So yeah, you guys are mostly quiet. Some of you are making more noise than others. Talroth, you lead them in. You make it to the edge of that crash site again. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna carefully look around, see if I can get to the other side of the cart without making too much noise. Maybe see if there's any kind of movement or what will be on the other side.
Okay,
Since I
yeah.
didn't get a look the first time.
I'll give you a perception check. We'll use your passive as a floor for this. So go ahead and give me that.
$26.
26. Nicely done. You look very carefully. You don't see any movement. You don't see anything that is raising your alarms. As you make your way around, sort of circling to treasure side, so to the right, you keep your eye on the clearing. You do see a few extra things that you hadn't seen previous. It looks like a fair few liquids have sort of puddled underneath one of the crash side of the cart. You smell that vinegar again. You smell that earthy oil smell. There are some other fainter scents that just don't carry on the wind quite as far, that are being overpowered. It's a little nauseating just because it's a bad mix, but nothing that is intentionally... it might be poisonous in other conditions. It's not dangerous just smelling it, to be clear. The vinegar smell seems to be coming from the wheels of the cart. And you can see this cart, as you make your way around, has... you can't see it on the one that's on its side, remember. There are back doors to the cart. You sort of see the back of that. The doors have been busted open. One of them's been ripped off of the hinges. There are signs of combat around here. There are sort of felled plant life. There's some things that clearly have been hit with like some necrotic magic. But on the side of the cart that's facing up, you can see that it has sort of a like a kiosk fold down flap. It's currently closed, but you can see like where the hinges and the locks and that sort of stuff is. You look around the ground. I'll give you kind of a survival check with it also, as you're picking up information just as you go. There is... The odd thing here is that there are no signs of any pack animals. There's no sign of a horse or something to have drawn the cart. The cart seems to operate without such a beast.
It's a 16 on the survival.
Okay.
But when you say there's nothing, like no pack animals, is there at least even like a hitch to hook up a horse or anything?
Nope.
Or even to connect it to another cart?
Nope. Doesn't look like it. You haven't made it to the front of the cart yet, and you can look at that when you get around there. With your 16 survival, I will say you can see the footprints of what looks like a humanoid. Medium creature, not very big, probably 5'8", going by like shoe size. Light shoes, you can tell that. Maybe light shoes, fairly lightly armored, not super heavy. And then there one thing you do note is that there is a you see that there is a conflict with those bronze scouts with maybe some of those iron cobras, and then you can see where the body gets dragged away from the road. And as you're sort of following that drag trail, you come over to the front of the wagon. The front of the wagon doesn't have a hitch, but it does have sort of this like a 2-seat sort of driving chair with a series of levers on one central side. It's kind of more like a chair in like right in the center that people could stand on either side. It's not seat and seat. It's like seat with like little room, right? And handbags and stuff like that. And it looks like part of that folds down. So, what would you like to do?
While
All right.
he's-
Oh, sorry, go on.
While he's doing that, can I actually look to see, at least from where I'm at, if anything entered or left through the grass we're in, besides anything that's howl off, like dead vegetation and stuff like that?
Yeah, you can make I'll take perception or survival.
Survival, but I only rolled a 9.
Okay. As you are going through here, what I will say is that you do start to see that it looks like this drove off the road or was chased off the road. And it wasn't recently. It had to have been at least a few days ago, because a lot of the plants that got like flattened or would have been run over have sort of popped back up since. That's the biggest note, right? Now that you look at them, you can see where on them they got like flattened or bounced, right? But it's been long enough that that it's kind of righted itself. You also get the feeling there's something magical or enhancing about this vegetation, that it popped back in a relatively short amount of time.
Can I get up on the cart?
Yeah. Okay. So Ride is the first person to sort of break from the underbrush of the plants and into. It's not very large, but let's call it a clearing, just for clarity's sake. You're coming in on the underneath side, and you climb up on the side of the cart. You can see that the wheels, looks like the wheels are what are the most damaged portions of this cart. A lot of the wood's sort of been broken and cracked. You can see where there are nicks and like ridges and bite marks, and parts where they've just sort of splintered and been chewed on. So you're careful. You brush your dress off to the side, and you kind of climb up on there. The cart is painted a vibrant sort of slightly bluish purple with gold trim along the top and along the sides. And it is Dr. T. Burns Elixirs and Remedies for all your known ailments and even those you don't.
All right, so before Sarai had gotten there, could I have had a chance to go inside the car through that back door you were talking about?
You had circled around to the front, so I'll say you start to make your way back to the rear of the cart, and that's when she sort of climbs up on the side. So she'll break the plane first. You right behind her, heading for that rear entrance. Talroth, as you start to go in there, the door that would be on the ground is completely got torn off. The other door, only the bottom hinge is holding it on, so it's got this. It's kind of blocking your path. You kind of have to move it out of the way. You can do so if you'd like to do so stealthily. Let me know. It's not hard, but it's just annoying.
Yeah, I'm trying to not disturb things as much as I can.
Okay. We can say here's your choice. You can move the door, get somebody to hold it for you or take it off the hinge and then enter safely. Or you can crawl under the little area that the door doesn't cover, but there's a lot of liquids that are sort of pooled and that dirt underneath the wagon is still damp with whatever was in this cart. All of those sort of elixirs and liquids and things like that. So you would have to belly crawl to get under there. If you're cool with getting all of that on your dress, not knowing what it is, your clothing, you are welcome to.
And you said it mostly smelled like vinegar and stuff?
Now that you're closer, the stuff that's on the ground does not smell like vinegar. The wheels, for some odd reason, the wheels smell like vinegar.
I'm gonna make my way over to Thozen and Treasure.
Okay.
Hey, so Thozen, you might like the front. Treasure, the back smells like shit.
Okay.
Now, yeah. Either way, there's something interesting about this car, but we kind of might need to turn it right side back up to figure out what's going on, or at least to get inside without getting too dirty. There's some shit that fell on the ground that even I'm a little questioning about the quality of them essentially oils.
Well, if just by the way, if just my 2 cents, if there's unstable things in there and we try to move it too much, is there not a chance of stuff just exploding? Because herbalists and people like that, even if he's not making real things, may have fire, may have unstable elements in there, may have unstable liquids. I'll get fucking dirty. It's fine. I'm small. I can just get in. But I don't think we should flip it back up until we know what's inside. Because explosions.
Is there a way inside?
I'm sure I can find a way to worm under and into things. I am a small.
If you want to crawl through the elixir-laden mud, you
That's
can,
fine.
Or you guys can remove the rear door.
Well,
Good
I
either
have,
way, but I don't think flipping it is necessarily a good idea.
I
mean, if there was already something kind of explosive inside, when it fell over, it might have gone off then, so...
Maybe, but just trying to minimize the potential issues.
Okay. The other question that I have, especially Fable, because even though you are small, you are also very hot, so to speak.
When I don't always have to be. I'm not made of hot, I'm made of cold. So if I'm just focusing real hard on being cold, I probably won't set anything off. Just don't fuck with me.
I'm just concerned about you catching fire. Everything else can catch fire. I really give no shit.
Yeah, but I can catch fire. and then just be fire for a few minutes, and it's fine.
Well, what if I take like Tinker's tools and remove?
If we just take off the door, that's fine.
hinges?
You can do that. Make a blacksmithing or carpentry check. Saride, what would you like to do?
I would like to. Okay, so she's on the cart because the last time we got electricked, she was still on the cart, and that grounded her, so she didn't get the damage. So while she's up there, she's keeping an eye out all around for any disturbances. I realize it'll be harder to feel anything underneath because she is on top of the cart, but if she can see stalks or birds flying or something that looks like it's coming.
Yeah, make me a perception check.
Is the carpentry or blacksmithing proficiency only, or is it something else?
I'll let you pick. What stat do you want to add to it?
I don't know. I mean, I figure, to be honest and to be fair, it would be intelligence because it's something I would learn, even though I'm not the smartest crayon in the box. Okay. But
I mean,
I would say
you're proficient with carpentry tools, right?
Correct.
Okay, so definitely add your proficiency. Yeah, I will take intelligence or wisdom. I don't think strength is going to help you. Basically, I mean, if you want to rip it off by using strength, you can do that. You want to try to finagle it off by like working on the hinge, that's dexterity. If you're purely using intelligence to know like where to thump it to get it off the hinge, that's fine. Or wisdom to perceive where it's weakest. Like I'm flexible on this. There's unscrewing a hinge is pretty simple. So
well, if I take wisdom, it'll be a 24.
That's fine. Yeah, honestly, I probably should have just asked if you were proficient and said you did it. Like that's
gotcha.
That's I'm trying to unlearn the instinct of roll the die, which is fun, but there's also a moment where it's like you're just taking a hinge off. Like you're proficient in carpentry tools. You know how to do this. The difference between a natural 20 and a natural 1 in that instance is you strip the screw and it's annoying, or a natural 20 is you don't strip the screw and you can reuse it later. Like there's no fail state for that.
Because it's skill checks and not like
No, natural 20 you don't lose the screw.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So yes,
a natural 1 you eat it by accident.
That's it. Yeah, you put it in your mouth and swallow it, and it's uncomfortable. It hurts going down. So yeah, who knows? You remove the door. You're perfectly capable of doing that. The door, it's this wood. I will go ahead and let you know because you made a great check. Is seems to be treated in some sort of way. Instead of having like a smooth finish, instead of feeling like well sanded, well worked, sort of the warmth of wood, it has sort of a stone texture to it. It's a little odd. It's kind of sandpapery in that way. Not all of it, but mostly around the trim, the edge of the trim on the door.
But it's for sure wood.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I'm just like intrigued and examine that while Fable goes into the cart.
It will go into the cart. I'd like to go into the cart carefully.
Yep. Carefully, you make your way into the cart. In the cart, there is a... you see there is like one of those tour bus bunk beds that's kind of built into the wall. Has underneath sort of a series of drawers and chests, footlocker sort of chests where you suppose somebody keeps most of their clothes, their living arrangements, things like that. Just on the other side, it's a very tight cart. Like you figure one person in the back, maybe two could stand side by side, but you'd have trouble like squeezing past each other. The other part of that is you can see there is an alchemical station on the left-hand side. So the right-hand side that's on the ground is where the bed and the bunk and all of that stuff is. Left-hand side is an alchemical station. There are some shelves that all have alchemical reagents. Roll me a percentile.
27.
A 27. Okay. About 3/4 of those things have fallen off of the shelves and have sort of either broken or uncorked or splashed down on the other things. Most of it looks inert. A lot of it has dried. Some of the only things that are still sort of there, the oils have left residues and little puddles. The things that were either more acidic or, let me rephrase, more reactive or water-based have sort of evaporated. It's been long enough for that. There are still some things, some beakers, some little burners. It's if you were proficient in alchemy, you could take this kit and paying sort of the difference, you could recuperate that.
Can I give it to someone who is?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, anybody. It's a quarter
Good,
of an alchemist kit.
Good. I will take that and give it to someone in the group that can do those things. Do I see anything internally that makes it feel like if I can get to the driver's seat or the front? If this thing is moving without magic, is there somewhere they can see through to control it? Or did someone or driving with magic instead of horses? Can I basically see if someone got run off the road because they were drunk or because something we're guessing something attacked, but I want to just see.
Please, a wagon running without horses, what a blasphemous, insane thing.
It feels wrong. I agree. It feels like a thing that won't ever work, and the future will be a worse place for trying, but...
I do not see a future for this thing.
Nonsense.
There is no evidence that the wagon is operated from within here.
Well, now I'm just curious and want to know how this thing works. Okay, cool. Anything else of interest and note? May I investigate? May I explore? May I see?
Yeah, make an investigation check.
That guy was so nice to me earlier, and now it's just kind of meh.
I will be
18.
18.
And then do we need to take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break. Here's what we're gonna do. Let's
pick a hashtag.
Hashtag burns. Hashtag BURNS. Hashtag burns. Okay. And we are going to be back in about 10-15 minutes, and we will announce our winner shortly after that. Sounds good? Awesome. We will see you guys in just a few minutes, but until then,
Thank you.
Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. We are Random Encounter Productions. I'm Cody Stone. With me tonight, we have
Caitlin playing Fable Frost, the Astronaut Phoenix Soul Sorcerer.
And Megan playing Sarai Landir, the Eldrin Glamour Bard.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Mars. I'll be playing Talroth Oakenblade, the Wood Elf Scout.
Hi guys, my name is Carlos. I am playing Thosin Fahrenheit, the half-orc tiefling forge cleric.
And I'm Kez, and I'm going to be playing Treasure, the Tiefling Fighter.
awesome. So, do we have a winner?
We do.
Winner.
Yes. We are. It is Ramar83. So send us a your address via private message, and we will ship this off to you. Hopefully, with our shipping orders tomorrow. If anyone also wants their stuff shipped out tomorrow, visit randomencounterproductions.com/loot, and we will get things mailed off to you ASAP.
Yeah.
So it's a good day for shipping things.
Okay. So you guys are investigating Dr. T. Burns' magical cart, his cart of wondrous elixirs and solutions to problems, the ones you know you have and the ones you don't, I believe, something along those. Let me see here. Fable had just done her investigation check. You dig into his footlockers, into his drawers, things like that. A wide variety of clothes. Some of them remind you very much of the circus of traveling garb. The traveling garb clearly for comfort. Some more showy garbs, large robes, wizard's robes, and it does look like he has some artificer-like leathers, like a light leather armor, welding sleeves and things along those lines. That is mostly what you find in there. And actually, you do come across, there's one more thing. You do find some coinage that the good old Dr. Burns has tucked away in there. I'm going to get that for you in just a moment. What else are you guys up to?
After Fable went inside, I would have gone back around to the front to check that front seat and those levers, see if I can make sense of that.
Okay. Make me an Arcana check.
That's an 11.
An 11. Okay. You're not sure how it works, so it does seem to give the whoever's driving in it control over the cart. It seems to require maybe not attunement, but some sort of connection to the wagon for it to drive. So it seems that's what you get. Yeah. Fable, you do pick up it's about 140 gold pieces in coins, coins and gems, mostly coins. They're like one gem for fun. Why not?
Can someone add that to the team ledger? I know Matthew's not here, so usually he's the one who... I'm going to put it in group chat. 140 gold points worth?
Yep. What else would you guys like to look into?
I was checking up top.
You were. Are you like opening the fold down flap? Or you were
I'm
just watching.
keeping an eye
You were
out.
looking out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, did you make your perception check?
Yeah, it was a 14.
A 14. Okay. And your 18 is your passive. So as you look out over the field, you can just see where where the drag marks in the direction they go. You don't see any. You keep your eyes peeled while everybody's looking around. Nothing looks like it's coming to ambush you guys or anything along those lines.
Cute.
You said that there was some welding. What is it?
Sleeves. It's just it's loose leather. It's it's part of like a forge's tools. You would know what they are. They protect your arms from getting burned, although you are resistant to fire, so less important to you.
It would have been helpful before.
Yeah. Well, in reality, welding sleeves keep you from getting welders from getting sunburnt or burned as things spark onto them. As MIG welders,
Forge burned, if you will.
Yeah, MIG welders. That bright, pretty blue light when you're welding is strong enough to burn your retinas out. So never look at it. It'll also sunburn you, like give you a tan. Yep. What else are you guys up to? Treasure?
I am, now that everybody's kind of in that clearing area, I'm still looking around for what caused this. I'm trying to figure out, we know it came off the road, but did it get chased off the road by something that was on the road behind it? Did something come up from underneath it? That's what she's more curious about.
Okay.
Because, something this heavy, because she's gathering between all the bottles and the machinery and stuff that would have to move on its own, doesn't just tip over because it wanted to.
Agreed. Make me an investigation check.
A 5.
Okay. Treasure, you're not sure. It does look like most of the fighting happened here. You don't think it. Something had to happen on the road to drive it this way, although the details are unclear.
I'm gonna swap these dice out. They hate me tonight. Come here, metal dice.
Come on, Norse Foundry, pull through.
Basically.
So at least right now it seems that we might not be getting attacked, that we seem to be kind of in the clear, more or less.
Seems to be, yeah.
Well, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I kind of want to see if this cart still moves.
Fable, do you want to come out of there?
I mean, I guess. It's kind of cozy.
She's gonna, slip her tail in like an escape rope.
I love that so much. I use it.
Okay. So if you guys are going to try to right the cart, what are your
I would like to,
strength
because
checks?
I don't have strength. Can I try to Arcana check, examine the how we control it section? So there's something it didn't look like it was attuned. I'd like to try to figure it out.
Probably should wait until it's upright.
That's fine.
Okay. Those I'm assuming Thosen and Treasure are gonna be making the let's have everybody make an athletics check. How's that? Team
I am
effort.
going to cast. I'm going to take a feather out of my pocket, and I am going to cast Enhance Ability, Bull Strength on. Oh my God, Treasure.
Okay.
It gives you the advantage on strength checks, and it doubles your carrying capacity for the next hour.
Nice.
I'm not gonna carry this damn thing, although I might now.
What is your strength score?
Just pick it up.
Treasure?
It was a 19.
Was a 19. So
If
technically,
you add this.
it still is a 19. But that does so strength is one of the few scores that has like measurable impacts. It impacts your carrying capacity. You like there is a tote, lift, and fetch, drag, lift, and carry things to it. So I'm actually gonna look up for curiosity's sake, because if Treasure can just manhandle everything, why not?
She's gonna pull a strongest man and just like yoink it up with her teeth. It's gonna be great.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like when those moms pick up the car trying to save their kids from underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Should I just pretend to be in trouble? Should I just pretend to be stranded? Oh no, Treasure! You've got to upright it to get me out!
No. You gotta tell them. You tell them there's a case of whiskey underneath that needs to be saved.
Well,
That'll
that's
do it.
you.
I don't know. I'd do it for whiskey too.
Sorry, Meg.
Way. Ability scores, modifiers, ability checks. Let's go. Let's dig into the minutia of D&D. That's what everybody comes for, not the characters, not the adventuring. It's clearly for the math. Where did you go? Okay, lifting, carrying, pull, drag, or lift. Here we go. So your carrying capacity is your strength score multiplied by 15. That's the weight in pounds. You can drag or lift a weight in pounds up to twice your carrying capacity, or 30 times your strength score. And with the bull strength, that's doubled. Is that what it said? Your carrying capacity.
It said carrying capacity is doubled, but I'm double checking.
Okay.
Your girl's a damn tank. Carry me, I don't want to walk anymore.
So you said 19, or sorry, strength score times 15 for the carrying capacity?
Yeah, that's average for everybody. So anybody that has a strength of even 10, you can carry 150 pounds. But that includes everything. Like your armor has a weight, all of your weapons. That's what everybody gets as a base, right? So bull's strength, target has advantage on strength checks, and their carrying capacity is doubled. So lifting is okay. So her carrying capacity normally is 19 times 15 is 285 pounds. That's what Treasure can just sort of tote around, right? With full strength, that is doubled to 570 pounds, which means that her lifting ability is double that. So that's 1,140 pounds.
I've created a monster.
Now you are carrying all of us. This is what Treasure does now. We don't walk places. We get hefted by the tiefling beast. Fuck walking. Walking is for boors. We have a treasure. We have a tiefling of burden.
Sable makes some very good points here.
That is.
The chat says Treasure can bench press a Mini Cooper. Thank you for coming in clutch with that math. You are not wrong.
Yeah.
I need new art from Treasure of her just like the party hanging off of her biceps.
So.
Like casually.
Beefling.
So, a quick Google search: weight of a wagon. The typical prairie schooner weighed 1,300 pounds. So you can almost lift it by yourself. I'm not gonna make you guys make a check since she can lift most of it by herself.
We're just
I'm
like
assisting.
a finger is on It's that scene in Friends where they're bringing in the furniture and Rachel goes, "This is really heavy. I mean, not for me because I'm not actually carrying it, but for them."
Right.
That's Fable. This is so
Yeah.
heavy. I'm not actually doing anything.
So that's its weight when it's empty. The general goal is to keep the weight added with cargo no more than 2,000 pounds. So with that and with the rest of you, even if the rest of you had strength scores of 10, which I think is accurate for a couple of you, 150, 150, 300. You guys are up to 1,400. Fable, what's your strength score?
Oh God. Do I have one of those?
You should.
0, a 10.
A 10. Yeah, another 150 pounds, 450 pounds. And what is yours, Thosen?
18.
Okay. 18. Another 300 pounds, I'm sure. So, yeah. Technically, I should make you guys make a check. You don't need to. You use the spell slot on it. It takes a moment. You get in there. You guys are trying your best. You don't realize how much treasure is just... she gets it up, and then you guys have to kind of hold it while she does the adjustment for the full, like, overhead press. You open it, you flip it up. Anything that was on the underneath side that was not broken before you righted it, most of that falls out. However, you do hear there's the other panel, the one that Sarai was standing on. A lot of that stuff seems, and as you look at the open one, it's like a spice rack. Like there's stuff to hold the glass in place, right? So you think that things might be pretty safe on the side that Sarai was standing on the side that got crushed. That took more of like an impact, a thump to it. So if you guys wanted to open that up, you could. Fable, if you would like to make your Arcana check on the cart, you can.
But also, I'd like to suggest right now that if we need any other strong things done, like things undented, armor just plied back together with bare hands, let's do it while she's beefed up and on magic steroids, because this is terrifying.
Well, she has an hour.
What can we do in an hour? Like,
I can go scare the piss out of Olaroon.
Yeah.
You won't scare him, that poor boy. Oh God.
That's valid.
He can only get so erect.
I will.
At the mention of erect, I lift my eyebrows.
I would
21.
Like 21. Okay. So there is a there's essentially a magical like tuning rod or key that you would need to attune to operate the wagon. It also, you can tell that there's a piece missing, and you suspect it went with the body.
Could we maybe create one if we were really, really tricky? Like
yeah.
with time. Like
With time.
if we needed to create and like have those and build something and we could try to like enchant it or have someone enchant it, it might be worth eventually having a vehicle like this to like protect the horses and maybe be able to ride for longer, especially if we're expeditioning.
Mm-hmm.
A vehicle like this would be like not a bad idea.
Yeah. It would follow the rules of magic item creation, but you could make something. Thosen, I will go ahead and let you know, the wheels look pretty busted. They are, they took a lot of damage. They're gonna roll slow. You could hook like horses up, strap them up to drag it, to pull it. But you don't want to put a lot of weight in here until these wheels have been repaired, because they took some damage.
Just treasure can just.
I have mending. Would it fix the wheel, like, or is mending like you have a crack on the glass, you're only fixing the crack.
It would be fixing the crack. So mending is good for like small repairs. These things have broken spokes. These things have massive splits completely through them. Mending is, you would know as an artisan. Mending is a good magical fix for superficial damage, but when it comes to structural damage, it doesn't do a full repair job the same way, right?
Okay.
Somebody that was knowledgeable, like you, could use mending for a lengthy period of time to enhance your crafting abilities. So you don't have to replace all the spokes. You could mend a few of them, right? But there are some pieces that are just broken beyond repair that need to be replaced or modified.
And are these made of metal or are they made of wood? Like,
it is primarily wood, but it is this odd magically treated stone enhanced wood. Make me an Arcana check with advantage.
that is an 18.
An 18. So, it seems to be that this wagon has elemental earth properties, and the way the wagon operates is actually as it's running, the earth that it runs on is what is pulling and turning the wheels. So the element, that's why all of the wood that's on here has sort of a rocky texture. Sort of like if you had a deck or something, you sprayed it with like that stone coating. It's wood, it's got something on it, it kind of feels stonish. So that is what this is. This is an earth elemental cart. When attuned, it uses some inherent earth elemental magic to propel itself along the ground.
Knowing this, do we know if these are easy to come by or if they are inherent to that earth elemental plane? Like, is this a thing that he would have had to travel to get? Was this a rare thing? Like, because if you abandon something this expensive on a whim, either you gotta be fucking scared or fucking dead.
It is rare. These are very rare. You've heard rumors of them. I don't think any of you have seen them. They are not something that exists on other planes of existence, really. Not in the... They are a amalgamation of modern magic. There are rumors... not rumors. Make me history checks.
Ten.
I am just rolling so badly tonight. On history for treasure, a 4.
Oh no, Treasure, you're a historian. You're the one I rely on for rolling a natural 20 on history.
How dare you!
23.
20, not natural.
All right. So Saride and Thozen. Thozen, remind me, are you from the Republic? You are. You're a smith of Branos, right? Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. You would know from historical lore, so to speak, that there, within the past 80 to 100 years, elemental vessels have been going through a renaissance, and while much of their focus has been on elemental sailing ships that can travel faster, and occasionally like elemental airships, that some research has been done into elemental wagons or trains, carts, things like that. They do find less use because they are transportation along earthen paths is, I think, probably less profitable inherently. but still has a huge amount of value. And the big thing is that usually when the research going into elemental vessels is to either transport large amounts of cargo. This is a wagon. It has a limit in its weight, probably less of a limit than a horse-drawn carriage or wagon would, but it's still relatively small. People would have been researching essentially trains by comparison. But this is a rare, very rare piece of magical apparatus. It is a piece that is artistic for sure, and if boutique made, if the guy that ran this built it, he's a very skilled craftsman, whoever put it together. To ride, I'm going to say you know about the same. I'll say you know more of the famous magical ones that you would probably know the Arc Rider by reputation.
Yeah.
I just got emotional. Hearing about the Arc Rider. If you mentioned the phenomenal vessel, I would have just cried.
Because Sarai is from off-plane, I don't think she would necessarily know the P1 or the P2, but she definitely would have heard of the Arc Rider. What would you guys like to do?
I want to examine the wheels to see if they come off, or if they are like one of those things that have to remain on. So like, if it's something that I can fix, I want to be able to remove the wheels and take them with me. If it's not something I can fix, then obviously we'd have to figure out how to move the entire cart if we wanted to keep it.
To be clear, you can move the entire cart. It's not going to operate in its automated wagon magic fashion right now. It'll serve as a normal wagon. The wheels do come off. You could put regular wheels on there, but you need to fix the magic wheels for it to drive itself.
Got it. Okay. But if we just leave the wheels and use it as a regular wagon to get to our next location, we'll still be able to... Got it. I misunderstood. I thought they were like shattered or unusable.
They're pretty busted. You would want to empty this wagon. And most of its stuff got busted up, but you would want to empty this thing of cargo, and you would want to replace these wheels. Because if you hit like a pothole, you may lose the wheel entirely.
So, after it was righted, I would have gone to the other side that hasn't been checked and started just going through that and see what's in there.
Make an investigation check for me.
$25.
Ooh, okay. You actually find a couple of very interesting things. So you fold down the thing. There is a bunch of toxins and tonics and bug sprays and all of these different concoctions. I will say that some of them look legit. Just you having experience and been around magical venoms and concoctions and oils and all of those sorts of things. Some of them are very simplistic, right? Just your basic like alchemist fire. Occasionally, there are some that are labeled as something fancy, and you're like, I'm pretty sure that's just olive oil, or like I get the feeling that's that's just aloe that's been like stuffed in a bottle or something like that. So
Try Pirelli's Miracle Elixir.
Sure, yeah.
I'm imagining he's trying to sell it as...
In some ways, yeah, some of those cures are not anything at all. But you do find, so there are 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, and then above them is like a banner, right? It has Dr. T. Burns, magical elixirs. It's a wooden sign, essentially. Tauroth, you find that sign actually has some hidden hidden lock and slides, and it hides a where he would keep all of his like rare potions and concoctions. And you actually realize that there was one on the other side, and that had been that is still there as well. But while the board is up on the other side, the underneath of that shelf looks like it got like attacked, and the wood has been destroyed from that under shelf. Looks like whatever dragged him away worked very hard to get into that secret panel and to dig out things that were in there on that crushed side. And as you guys can see, once it's up, you can see there's actually one of those holes, one of the Bronze Scout holes that Saride and Talroth had traveled down this morning, very early in the morning. Give me a moment, and I will put together some of the potions that you guys find in those treasure hoards.
In the meantime, check out our sponsors, Norse Foundry at norsefoundry.com. You can use REPRPG to get 10% off of your order. No, 20% off of your order. 15. It's a percent.
I think it's 15%.
It's 15. Split the difference of what I just said. I'm gonna try it again. Check out norsefoundry.com and use the promo code REPRPG for 15% off of your order. Get you some metal dice. They fancy. I want their gemstone dice so badly.
So, in the area, he has. Well, actually, you can read the labels. He would have. The first one you find is labeled POL. It's got like a little tag on it. That one is in a crystalline vial with sort of gold trim around the edges. Very kind of fancy looking. You do recognize another potion. Up on the top of it has sort of this thin crust of like rock on it, like a little chunky, crusty rock piece. There is also, you've seen this one, a potion of climbing. You recognize that as being up there. And how many is that? That's 3. Let's see. He does have on the wall, like on the top shelf, not the hidden shelf, the top shelf, there are 2 potions of regular healing. They are sort of like baby chained in there, so that the people can't just steal them away, basically. There is a bottle that has sort of this swirling, smoking mass within it, that is there. And that's in the hidden shelf. And the last thing in the hidden shelf, get something good, find some fun. There is it looks like a black liquid potion that has this white like a raindrop in it, like a thick drop that is kind of glowing in a pure white light sort of color.
Well, that sounds perfectly normal.
Absolutely.
It's a ghost in a jar. It's a ghost in a jar. Liquid ghost!
Oh, Cody,
Yeah,
that would have been so much easier to have done. Could have done
A liquid
that.
ghost? Yeah!
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to take pretty much every potion that is still intact and just put it into the bag.
Okay.
And just make sure those very peculiar ones are set in a separate pocket.
Okay. Yeah, 2 potions of healing, 1 POL, 1 ESB, 1 POBW, potion of black and white, and potion of climbing. And was there one more?
There was POL, the Crusty Rock piece, the potion of
Crusty rock
climbing.
piece. Crusty rock potion. Rock potion. That's good enough.
And the bottle of swirling smoking masses ESB.
Yep. Yeah, Screevers can identify that stuff for you, or if any of you guys have identify, you can.
Well, I know Screevers likes eating and drinking strange things, so I was going to bring him a few surprises.
He does. That is his.
Feed him the liquid ghost!
That is his jam.
But yeah, if the bottle's already broken, then I'll just toss it out of there. But if any bottles and stuff are still intact, then I'll just put them in the bag.
Okay.
Just taking as much weight off the card as I can.
Absolutely. So I will say with the rest of the alchemical items that are on there, let's go ahead and call it, let's make it a full alchemist kit and an herbalist kit that you guys piece together with just all of Burns' rando stuff. Hey, there you go. He's coming back. Anything, what would you guys like to do?
I'm excited to talk to Screevers. If we're gonna try to salvage this thing, Fable will be taking the time where they're driving in it or whatever, like organizing and cleaning up broken glass and like trying to get it cozy.
Mm-hmm.
She's having some wagon traveling circus flashbacks and it makes her happy in here. She like wants to hang out and like hang stuff from the ceilings and make it a real traveling wagon because it's a monstrosity if he's not selling real stuff.
Just so I could be the rain on the parade, as it were. We don't have horses to pull this cart.
We have treasure.
No.
Damn it.
We don't have any way to get this thing to move. And honestly, we don't really need it. We have enough carts.
But it's so mechanically beautiful.
Yes, I know. And I know that it's weird and strange and you'd all like to spend some time with it. I do.
It also might sell for quite a bit, or if we're trying to explore and investigate things and this is a rarity, that might be worth making the effort for. Maybe we could take the wheels off of it and put it on a sledge.
Just so you guys know, you're about half a day from point 3.
So we could drop it off.
So if you got it there, you could either get horses or get the wheels repaired. It's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want it to, just out of character, I don't want it to slow us down in the long term. I was figuring if we could get it somewhere. I don't want it to be a burden. Like, it's not worth taking if it's gonna just cause a ton of problems. But if we're able to, like, get it somewhere and get it cleaned up or fixed up or looked at or whatever, that might be worth it because it is so rare. And because I'm convinced that he's haunting it if he died in here.
He didn't die in here. They
Damn
took him
it.
downstairs.
Yeah, well, still.
Well, okay then.
So are we going down there to deal with what happened here? Or I guess if it's not coming up, don't bother it, right?
Well, how badly do we want to find him?
We only wanted to find him because we thought he was the one who was doing all this.
Just because he got attacked by this doesn't mean he's not.
They could have turned. They could have gone and turned against him.
Or if he has this kind of powerful magic, again, it doesn't mean just because he got attacked by these doesn't mean he didn't have something to do with the mind control.
But this was what? A few days ago that they took him out.
You think at least 3.
So they're not here. We could try to track them, but I think the smartest thing is to get this up on whatever it is we're going to drag it on and try to get to the next point.
Thosen, if you can get that wheel to at least passable, I'm pretty sure I can hitch a belt and some rope to myself and get it out of here.
I can surely try. I'm gonna assessing the situation. I have carpenter tools, smith tools, and tinkering tools, and jeweler's tools. Let's make it shiny. I'm going to see if I can at least make it passable. It's not going to be aesthetically pleasing, but something that could at least be pulled for the next hour by Treasure.
Yeah. It's going to be a combination smithing and carpentry. I'll give you advantage since you are proficient in both. You can pick your wisdom, or if you have another stat you'd like to add to it. You're strong enough. It's a combination sort of thing. So go ahead and make me a check.
Natural 20.
Ooh. Well, yes, it's you get it to roll extremely well. It's not going to be able to use its earth elemental properties until those get fully repaired. But as far as just being able to like pull it, it's light enough, and Treasure, even once the bull's strength wears off, she'll be able to keep it moving. She's going to need some help if any of the wheels hit like a pothole or something like that to kind of lift it through. But as far as just traveling, she should be able to do it. She's going to need to make a Constitution saving throw against exhaustion, just because that's 4 hours of strenuous pulling. But overall, it's not bad.
Because my strength is up there as well. Like I would, after the bull strength dies down, I would offer to
help.
Alternate to help. Yeah, just to kind of ease, or we can both.
Yeah. Why don't we do it this way? Why don't you both make con saves against exhaustion? You both have advantage because you're pulling together. And a natural 20, those wheels are greased and spinning. They spinning. They spinning.
I finally rolled well. I got a nat 19 for this.
Nice.
Plus my con save, that puts it to a 25.
Absolutely.
All the beefling strength!
I got a 14.
A 14. Okay, DC of 13. So you make it through. You're tired, but you're not exhausted. You don't start to feel the full effects. But it is it's more of a leg workout than you had planned on doing today.
Meanwhile, Treasure's like, every day is leg day.
Exactly. So, to be clear, you guys had decided to repair the cart as best you could, and then take it on to point 3, correct? 2, yeah, 3. Whatever. Western point. Cool. So you guys have gathered up everything to get it back on the road. The caravan gets going. It's a little past dinner time when you guys come rolling into the point. Some of the people come out and keep a lookout. And as you are approaching, you can tell one of the small differences in this point is that in the fencing around their hamlet are these bright torch like bonfires, pyres, sort of. But they're not near the town for visibility purposes. They're about 100 feet off, 100 feet out from the edge of the hamlet. Looks like they've been well prepared and tended, but they look like they're designed to burn long and bright. So,
What?
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna ask the group what or treasure, since I'm pulling the same one in front with her. What do you think that's for?
Huh. Not quite sure.
Should we tread cautiously, or should we just? I mean, I don't see any danger so far.
Let's still be a little careful.
Can I, you said this is a liquid?
No, they're bonfires.
I thought I heard someone say a different word and my brain translated it into, like, bog. Like, you're good, I apologize. Then I won't try it. Are they possibly funeral pyres of some kind?
They don't appear to be. As you guys come pulling into the town, an older, slightly older elven woman is gonna come out and greet you, and you can see that she comes with a few younger men, most likely farmhands. They seem to be, especially the gentlemen, are armed with mostly farming implements. One of them does have a bow, a nice short bow with about 10 arrows and a quiver. And she sort of waves you all down, and hello there. Was informed you might be coming this way. I'm Sydney. How are you all doing? And she's got this very cautious look on her face as she observes the Wildlanders and their massive adamantine wagons and their war beasts, and then the far more bookish, nebbish students. And you all are coming in the very back as Sydney is standing there sort of at the, it's not really a gate, but the fence. And she looks out and she goes, "Oh my, I'm so sorry, is that Dr. Burns' cart? Did something happen to him?"
You know him personally?
Well, he had left here 4 days ago, 5 days ago, maybe. Not so long.
Did he leave in a hurry, or was he just on his way as... Do you mind if we go inside somewhere before we start chatting? In the meantime, we do need to have this cart looked at, because I do believe it is, but we can discuss all of that after we're out of the just open.
Oh, sure, all right, yes. Come this way, please. And as you guys are making your way over to the to her farmstead, to her farmhouse, right? There's far less creature comforts sort of around this farmstead. Seems to have more animal bases of things. There is the smell of animal farms, essentially, but something undercuts all of it, and you guys can sort of smell this hefty scent of vinegar that is underlying everything for a bit. She takes you into one of the farms that has no animals in it. Her and her lieutenant, the guy with the short bow, sort of follow you guys in there. The other farm hands come out and they're helping people get settled and talking with individuals. She's, I'm so sorry. You yes.
This is Megan. Hi, this is Megan. because it's come up in the crash site and now here, can I make a check to see what vinegar is used for?
Yeah, you can make. Are you proficient in herbalism or alchemy, or nature, or what do you want to roll?
I mean, I'm kind of jack of all trade nature.
Okay, yeah, go with that.
Shoot, it's a 5. All right.
Vinegar has a lot of uses. Cleaning uses. Some of it used as like bug repellents. Like there's a wide variety of uses for vinegar. The one thing I would say is that for it to be this prevalent of a smell in these different places, it has to be something like a lot of or strong.
Yeah. Okay.
So you all were going to tell me something about Dr. Burns.
Can I make an insight check on her before I have this conversation?
What are you attempting to insight?
If that vinegar smell is prevalent, and even though we can't tell what things are for, if she like knew he got attacked, if she sent something after him, I don't know, I'm being paranoid. But I'd rather be paranoid right now because things are weird.
Okay, you can make an insight check.
Like, is this one of those things where someone's like, oh no, they're missing, and they like really know where they went? Like, that's all I'm trying to check. But I didn't roll well, so I know nothing.
What'd you roll?
Not good. A 7.
A 7?
She's my best friend.
Seems genuine. Yeah, she seems
Great.
to really want you to tell her where Dr. Burns is.
Well, we're not quite sure, to be honest. We did find this cart in sort of a rough and tumble sort of state. But there's no body in sight, so that's good news.
Oh,
She's
no.
trying to like get a positive spin on the fact that like they just found the empty wrecked fucking cart. Like,
she'll question you briefly, getting the basic details. How far away is it? In like what? In the cornfield? Which one? Blah blah. Like, we'll dispense with mostly that portion of the questioning. You guys do your best to be accurate and forthright with her during that exchange. Okay. Yeah, just making sure. Didn't know if there was any information you felt was secret worthy.
I tell you, well, yeah, keeping the potions.
She
the
Yeah.
didn't.
fact that we can't.
She didn't
And
ask.
I think maybe what took him, what attacked, we don't know.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna say, I don't think we should say what it was. Just we found the cart in a state of dishevelment, no idea, and he wasn't there.
Okay. She seems to begin questioning you guys to check off her own series of culprits, necessarily. Make me...
During this, I'll try to be the one to talk
Okay.
more and to explain all of this,
Okay.
because I know I can be very persuasive.
Okay. I would like those of you not leading the conversation to make me... let's just do intelligence saving throws.
The bad
that's
luck
not me.
continues. I got a 4. Treasure's
Oof.
just sitting there rubbing her hooves and her calves. I am not doing well tonight. I
So
rolled
remember that sage that you told me to use on my computer? How about we sage your dice?
Yeah.
Seriously.
21.
Okay. Talroth?
I don't roll this because I'm part of the conversation, correct?
It's up to you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay talking.
Same.
16.
Okay, Talroth and Saride, you guys, as you're paying attention to what she's asking, she asks about the size of the creature. The creature first is how she phrases it. That attacked, maybe creatures. She asks if you saw little like deep cuts in the ground, and you check off one of the things she's asking about are bullets. She is curious if it was a bullet that that attacked him and overturned the cart and dragged him away. The scene that she describes is one of those. The other one, Talroth, you don't recognize, but Saride, you do. And it sort of pops into your mind as at first as a like a children's story, a children's story of warning about wandering into dwarven holds and hides, and how it was told as like a campfire horror story about why living underground was dumb. The thing that she describes is these little, not little, they start out about halfling size and they get to be almost the size of a horse. But they are monstrosities, bug-like monstrosities of chitlin armor and sharp teeth that devour things and will eat their own young as they attempt to grow out of being hatchlings. And you know that they live usually near very hot areas and underground. You recognize them as being described as Kruthic. The Kruthics are these these more intelligent, monstrous sort of insect pests that consume and spread at astonishing and ridiculous rates. And they are one of the dangers of traveling. It's often described as, imagine a hive of ants, some of which are the size of horses. And the ants are wearing armor.
So Florida.
I mean, more like...
It's time. I'm blanking it up. This is that nonsense we were fighting in Star Chasers, and I fucking hate it.
Kruthics?
Kruthic. Yeah, let me see if I can dig you guys up a couple of Kruthic pictures.
I mean, I think you've painted us a really nice word picture, and I'm fine. I won't be sleeping, but I'm fine. She'll message Talroth while they're having these conversations that's what she thinks it is and what the story is.
All right, Kruthic incoming. There it is. All right, I will take that away now, since it drove. It's gone. You're okay.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
Everybody's okay.
Hey, I'm really glad I'm pushed to talk so you didn't have to hear the shriek.
I'm sure Cody still heard it.
I didn't. You did good.
He has good headphones.
You were very good. You did wonderful. Those are the two things she describes as wondering if they had attacked Dr. Burns. When she finishes her line of questioning, Sydney sort of, I don't know what's happening around here. It's if it's not one thing, then it's another.
So you've been plagued by a lot of monsters, it sounds like, because we've seen the bullets and we've seen some other stuff, but we've yet to find out how long have you been dealing with this pest problem?
I mean,
Not that we are pest control, that's very important, that's not what we do. We are just trying to archive these incidents. I'm branding us.
Aren't we know? Even though I'm gonna look at Fable and kind of like.
Listen, just because I can freeze the bad ones and set fire to the other bad ones like a decent pest she's found her future employment. It's fuck the circus. She is just gonna start... we can use these potions to make magical raid, and that's our job now.
If life gives you lemons, make apple juice.
Fuck you for that, brain twist.
She lets you know that it's all of these problems started to appear about the same time. Each of the different points. I can't remember what I said. I think it's like 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 4 or 6 weeks, something like that.
Okay, what pharaoh is holding people slaved? These are the plagues of Egypt. They're not frogs. They're bigger and horrible.
Well, I think this would be the locusts portion of the plagues.
Yeah.
And you didn't find Dr. Benz at all.
We did not. We just found the card.
Such a shame.
We have some. We are in charge of taking care of a lot of squishy students who are just research assistants. We didn't want to get them into trouble. However, if they're planning on going back and searching for him, we would be happy. I at least would be happy to lend my sword, so to speak, to the cause. But we didn't want the students left out there in the danger.
I have to be honest. It would be tremendously helpful. He was very kind and very helpful when he came through town. Not many of us trusted him, and we had heard the general reports coming from the other points. We knew that he had come through point 1 to begin with. They didn't really seem terribly impressed with him, but these little devil bug monsters had really been attacking our livestock and were becoming more of an infestation coming from the southern point than anything. We were desperate, and we heard that they had had great success there. He had given them some sort of repellent, pesticide, a bit of concoction for us to spread onto our fields and plants that would keep them away. And he came here offering the same solution. We had attempted to utilize it. It was somewhat effective, but it seemed as though the creatures were growing bolder, or at least more desperate. Yes.
This is more Talroth thinking as he's listening to all this. Would I be able to make like a nature survival check to thinking about all the stuff that we found in the cart, hearing about the insect repellents and all that? Would those have had the opposite effect if they were done on the plants? Or would I need to have like skill with alchemy to really figure that one out?
I'm not
Because you mentioned that there was like a magical element to the plant life around there, right?
Yes, there is a magical element to the plant life. I apologize. Cody is not understanding the question. Talroth, give it to me again and let me see if I can sort out. What do you think is happening? And I can tell you if there's a check to confirm it.
The insect repellents and stuff that we found, like that strange vinegar smell and all those chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
Could those have been sold as insect repellents, but what they're really doing is attracting everything instead? That's where my train of thought is going.
Ah, okay.
If it's the whole snake oil salesman where
Sure.
he says, "Oh, this will make you grow hair," but it makes it go bald instead.
Sure. I got you. It is. You could make a check. You would need alchemy and/or herbalism, and you would need to know what concoction was spread. So you would need a sample of the concoction, and then you would either need to make an alchemy check on it or an herbalism check on it.
Neither of which I'm trained in.
So there you go. You might be able to talk to the students. There's bound to be an alchemist or herbalist with them. Also,
I bet Screebers can do some herbalism.
He's got a weird set of skills, a very, very unique set of skills.
Remind me to ask Griebers about tinkering. Or did I already ask Griebers? I think I did already ask Griebers about tinkering tools.
Screebers doesn't. Yeah, I think he knows a little bit about tinkering. He doesn't know enough to make you proficient in that.
I feel like I remember having that conversation with him.
Yeah.
He knows jewelry.
Right. Oh, that's right. You asked him about jewelry. He was going to help you put teeth on everything, because that was his jeweling specialty.
Got it.
He had been in town for a few days. We've seen a dramatic drop in bug population, and it was very impressive, risking his own life to assist ours. Although I suppose for him it's less of a true risk. I have to be honest, I don't entirely understand who or what he is.
But you did say he helped.
He did, yes, absolutely.
It actually, like, there was a drop in the numbers after he got here. How soon did he get here after the monster attack started, by the way?
A couple of weeks. We'd been under... The southern point had really been the source of the Kruthic infestation, and it had spread out this way. But he arrived in the eastern point, 3 weeks after. This is Cody operating off of a 6-week timeline.
No, that's okay. That's fine. I'm trying to figure out, like, if it was he let them stew and then he appeared to save them, or he arrived the next day and was like, I can save you from your monster problem. Like, that's it.
You're not
sure. The
sure.
exact numbers are not as important as just the range.
Yeah. No, yes, he did. Helped us. We're not warriors here. So we were trying to find a smart solution, as it were. Not something that would bring us into direct conflict with the, If you've not seen them, they are terrifying. Behold.
What? Please show us a picture. Like, what did it look like? No, I'm just kidding.
She actually takes you. She has sort of the dry chitinous shell of a few of them that they had killed. They are mostly small and medium creatures. None of them are horse-sized. If you're looking for it, yeah, so you can tell they are monstrosities. Looks like some of the organs or like the juices or whatever might have been harvested. But their armor is like blade sharp. It has that, you ever find a dead bug that had been dead so long that it's just sort of like just the crunchy outer shell? That's what it is.
You just want me to keep yeeting myself away from the table today, don't you?
No.
What did I do to you?
You didn't do anything. You're wonderful.
Okay, as long as it's not personal, then keep going.
It's not personal. No.
How about we don't go looking for these until we level up to the next level where I can locate weak creatures?
It's gonna take us a while. We're still stuck at 6th.
But they can look in creatures at 7.
As you get close to the shells, the smell of vinegar gets overwhelming.
Oh, is it safe to say that the shells is where the smell is coming from?
Yeah. Seems like the blood of these creatures is very acidic. Not enough to be dangerous, but enough for it to linger. That is the smell of their blood and entrails. And just how pervasive it is around things, you suddenly start to realize they've killed a lot of them here, and he used his wagon to run over a bunch of the smaller ones.
Okay, I take it back. He's worth rescuing because that's brilliant.
He used his cart to drive over baby Kruthix.
Good, we're
Over
gonna
the
save
market.
him. You what?
Over the Varkids. Get some blood on the tires.
Yeah, exactly.
So, one question that I would ask is, is there a general direction, by any chance, where this smell is potent? Like, where they could be congregating? Is that the word that I'm looking for?
Initially, we had seen most of the attacks coming from the south. We just assumed it was because the southern point had been infested with them first. And that's one of the reasons we keep the bonfires out away from the town. They're attracted to heat. They prefer it. We were hoping as the weather cooled that we would be able to dissuade them from getting near the livestock or people.
So they're using them as bug lights. That's magnificent.
That is also good to know. Like, maybe potentially we can put out some of them and just have one large central place or person who can
I will
emit
just
an
light
insane amount
myself
of heat.
on fire and wait for them to come for me.
That doesn't sound like a crazy idea or anything, but sure.
We had, we've been using them to protect the town. They do occasionally dig up from underground. They can burrow pretty well.
Has anybody tried to burn them? Potentially, this is something that if they are attracted to, it doesn't hurt them, maybe? We're just trying to think of any vulnerabilities.
They don't seem to have any resistance to most weapons. There's nothing terribly special about us, or the fires, or anything like that. So, nothing I'm aware of.
Did Mr. Burns stay in any inn or have a room while he was here?
He stayed in his wagon, in his cart, but he would eat with us. He would eat breakfast and dinner every day and night.
I was honestly hoping he'd left behind notes of some kind on these beasts that somewhere that we could maybe fish them out. Did he talk to anyone? Did he have to talk to an alchemist or a shop to buy anything specific to help him with his work? Anything we could recreate to help defeat these things in his absence while we go looking for stuff?
I'm not sure. We don't have.
It's a smart idea.
It's a very smart idea.
No, I'm good.
She's not an alchemist or an herbalist.
That's fine.
She wouldn't know.
And I'm so sorry that I'm asking so many questions.
Please, anything I can do to help.
Does it seem like these things have been attracted to the light of the fire or the heat itself?
I am unsure. They, I think they enjoy the heat. I'm not. I don't know that it's necessarily the light. It also helps us spot them, to be honest. Keeping them burning in a way, they might stop to investigate it. Hopefully, that's usually it. The small ones tend to go for our smaller livestock, and we try to pack them in and keep the sheep and the goats and things like that. We have lost the occasional cow. They're very voracious eaters. So anything we can do to warn ourselves or give us a slowing of their approach has been great. But they've avoided the city's hamlet. They've avoided the town's fences since we treated them and the buildings with the concoction. Didn't have enough to go over the entirety of all buildings, but the entrances. We have to keep vigil in case any of them dig up from underneath. But I think that's what the fires are supposed to do, is to draw their attention.
Thank you. Does anyone else have a question? So should we potentially make our way south? Well, maybe this is this conversation we should discuss.
I do think we're gonna have to go try and find and rescue him.
You're not wrong.
At this point, we're gonna keep on chasing him around in circles, and whereas he may be the cause of the problem, he may also actually have been the real solution, and we won't know. I mean, even if he is the cause of the problem, he is also the solution then. Is like making sure we shut down whatever fuckery he's got going on. But I'd like to do it after we restock and like have a long rest. Don't want to do it right this second.
Talroth, what do you think? You look like you're getting real pensive over there.
Probably better to chat about it over dinner or drinks or something. Still trying to sort a couple things out. Something. No offense to you, ma'am. Something just doesn't smell right, both literally and with the situation. I don't want to give you any false hopes that we know what's going on, but I just need a few minutes to think.
Well, if there's anything I can do to be of use, please let me know. Otherwise, we don't have much in the way of inns. We do have some barns that are unoccupied. If I don't know that they're necessarily better lodgings than what you have on your wagons, but you're welcome to them. We're past dinner at this point, but we will have breakfast early in the morning. Let me know if you need anything. And with that, she will...
Before you go, can I have the carapace of the thing, if you have multiple?
Yeah, please. If you can have all of them. I'm just... didn't know what to do with it, really.
How many are there?
There are, let's say, three young and one adult.
I'll just take the 3 young.
Okay. Yeah, those are about halfling sized.
Oh shit, those things are still big. Never mind, I'm gonna take 1 young. I ain't carrying all that.
Okay, yeah. Yep, a young Kruthling is the same size as a halfling. You guys, what would you like to do? You're by yourselves. You can talk to anybody that's in the camp. You can talk to Grievers or Wyatt or any of those people. You can. We do still have a few minutes before we call it a night, so I'd like to help you guys through whatever investigating or discussing you would like to do. Or if you guys don't have anything, that's okay too.
Oh, sorry, what was the name of this thing again?
The monster?
The carapace that I got, a young...
Kruthik. Kruthik.
Yeah, I would have definitely gone to Screevers to ask about some of the stuff that we found, see what's legit, what's snake oil.
Okay. A lot of the things that are up there are components to things. even the things that are snake oil seem to be components for other alchemy or herbalist concoctions. But he'll like read one of like, what is it? Is it improves dry skin? That's not what this does. This is cooking oil. Important, tastes great, and good base for like sharp oil or soy oil or stabber oil or popcorn, but I don't know, not good on skin. And he'll so like even the things that are mislabeled or are snake oil do still seem to be components to other things. When you get to the 2 healing potions or regular healing potions, those are really easy enough. When you get to the specialty bottles that he has up there, Screebers will dig around. Which one would you like him to start with?
Oh, going down the list, POL.
Ah! What is this? Let me see. And he grabs it. And he looks at it, odd for a moment. He goes, He gives it a good shake. And then when he stops, he goes, "Ooh. This one is, ooh." And he'll take the cap just a little bit, and he kind of rims it with his scale. He smells it. What is it? Ooh. This is very rare. And he'll give it to you. Hold on, I've never seen it like that. Screamers has to draw a picture. Ah! And he goes digging into his cart, and he brings out a book. Terrible book, not bound, just random pages, but it's got like 2 pieces of leather that he like sandwiches in to make it his own book, full of drawings and things. And he goes leafing through it, and every time like a page flies up, he'll grab it and put it back in. He's like, and he shows it to you guys. And on the top of the page, it is listed as a potion of longevity. But a potion of longevity is, in his drawing, has a very big, like bubble bottom of the bottle and like a thin neck. This one is just a small crystalline like beaker vial. It's actually it looks very different. And in the bottle that he's drawn, there's a beating heart and like a scorpion tail and a spider. Like there's a whole bunch of weird junk that's in a potion of longevity. He goes, "This is different. It's potion of longevity. Yes. Same power. Look." And he points at his Fu Manchu beard, and it has, instead of all being white, like you can see the part where after just tasting it a little bit, now it's slightly black. There's just a hint of darkness in there.
Like what his beard used to be before he got old?
Mm-hmm. It makes you slightly younger.
This is dangerous.
Potion of longevity helps you live very long time, makes you young. But if you use it too much, it can make you very old. It's a very special potion. It's rare. I've never seen it without a heart in it.
So then, my question is this. We said these mechanics were really old and Burns hadn't been around that long. Or no, what's his name hadn't been around that long. Maybe Burns has, though. Maybe someone's been around for a really long time.
So, very different type of potion. What else?
All right, I'm gonna carefully put that one back in the bag and hand him the ESB.
Okay, let me see. And he goes and he shakes it, he sniffs it, he spins it around, and he goes to like barely open it, but he puts it down real quick. He goes, "Ah, exactly as I suspected. This is a ever-smoking bottle. It's got smoke in it. And it just smokes. That's it. All the time. Forever.
Good for stealthing and distractions. It's like causing some smoke screen forever that never runs out.
I mean, I guess.
What does it smell like?
I'll just put that one aside for the moment, and I'll actually pocket that one.
Okay.
To hand them the POBW.
The details of the ever-smoking bottle are actually whatever the stats are in the book. I don't know that they last forever, but that's just what Screevers is going to.
Then it's a misnomer. It's not called a sometimes smoking bottle. It's called an ever-smoking bottle.
Well, there you go. What is the next one?
POBW. Potion of Black White, or the
Uh-huh.
one with the black with the white drop.
Mm-hmm.
Just make us into Wizard of Oz. Make us into the opening of Wizard of Oz.
He looks at that and goes, "Oh, that one might take me a minute. Here, you give me that one. I am going to have to. I don't want to taste that. That looks weird. That one looks freaky. Give me a moment."
All right, well, how about we make it a little easier first, and I'll swap it with the crusty rock potion.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this I could eat. This is okay. Okay. And he gets it and he shakes it and he takes the cap off and then he takes it's got like a wider mouth, sort of like a little pore, and he's like, ah! And he gets a little stick, like a wand, you think maybe, or maybe it's his spoon, you don't know. But he like cracks it like a creme brulee. You're like, yeah! Okay. And you see it starting to reform over. And he goes, it's good. This is potion of stone skin. Just like the spell. Lasts you about an hour. Have skin like stone. Then swords and bows, normal stuff, bounce right off. Well, sorta. But Scribbers doesn't need it. He's got dragon scales.
And quite very impressive dragon scales they are, Screebus.
Ah, thank you. What else?
I would die for Screebers, I swear.
Well, the only one left is this potion that you said you needed a minute on.
Oh! Screepers looks at it like he is not sure about this.
If you don't want to, I can always identify it.
Screepers will do it. Just give me a minute.
I want to insight check Squeebers.
Okay.
See if he's actually scared of this, or if he already knows what it is and he's trying to delay.
Yeah, make an insight check.
22.
22. Okay. You suspect that he has a thought on what it might be, but he does not want to drink it. And that is usually his go-to for figuring out what what things are. He's going to take it and
Now I'm scared. Don't let him get hurt.
Chug it.
he's going to take it and go, give me 10 minutes. Screamers will do the thing. And he is going to sit. And he's going to ritual cast Identify. And his eyes sort of roll into the back of his head. And he sort of snaps back. And his eyes sort of gecko bug out for a moment.
Treasure's gonna lean over to Thozen. Is that normal? Should we help him?
I mean, when I do it, it is not like that, but who knows? He has a different technique.
Do you know that, though? Because you never see yourself from the outside when you're doing it.
He doesn't do that.
Good to know.
Apparently, I don't do that. Nope. And
Does
it
he do
also
it
doesn't take me
other
10
times,
minutes either.
perhaps? Fable will just... Does he do it other times? Because sometimes it's a good sign, if you know what I mean.
I just shoot her a glance.
Fable.
What?
If orcs could blush, I'd slightly blush.
I am assuming that both Meg and Soraya are giving Caitlin her "that's not ladylike, we don't talk like that, circus freak" look.
Oh no, it's not that. That's not appropriate. We're in mixed company. Talk about my sex life again, and I will put your fires out.
That too. Shit.
Okay. Screamers
Perfect
thought
timing,
so.
Screamers.
That's okay. This is potion of inner divinity or diabolicalness.
It's both
What?
of those things?
Yep. Inner
Depending
divinity
on
or
what?
diabolicalness.
Depending on what?
On you.
I was
Is it-
thinking-
Is it random? Like, what happens if we give it to Olaroon?
I don't know. What is Olaroon? Is he...
Both!
Well, it's really up to the user. It reads you as a person. And if you are better person, divinity. You are better person, diabolical. Or if you are like Screamers and Mighty Dragon, draconic. At least Screamers hope so. Screamers never wants to find out. So, you drink
Thank
the
you for
potion.
not taste testing it.
Yeah. You take the potion. It connects you to your truer, plainer self. And then your truer, plainer self comes out. But if you are too weak, you never, your devil or angel or demon or dragon never goes back in, and you are gone forever. Or you are good, like you just, ooh, I transform, I save the day, and then I come back to being Screamers. Or it's like, I'm a dragon, and everybody's fucked. So, it's really a crapshoot. Like, you gotta be strong of will and spirit and personality to be
Never
okay.
wanted to drink a potion more.
But if you're not okay, like, you're gone. The you is no longer you. So, it's really like a one-time thing.
I've never wanted to drink a potion more. This feels like a when we're up against the nine hells kind of we do it as a last resort sort of situation. This is not a casual potion drink, I'm aware. This is a my party is all dead and I'm fighting a Tarask drink. Don't shake your head, there will come a time when we need to use it and you know it.
It has me so intrigued because being half tiefling,
Yeah.
being infernal, half orc, being like Grumsh, who's an evil deity, and being a cleric, it's like
Yeah. That was why I was thinking about Olrune, because he has that warlock and that paladin going for him. And you two, like, the two of you specifically could be a toss-up, but someone like Saride, who is, like, always taking care of people, and Treasure, who is just a muscle monster. We know Talroth would just rage steal, he would just become the shadow. But, like, I feel like with Meg or Kez, it could go either way. I don't know how Stitch would behave, I don't know how I would behave, I don't know, like, fucking I want to do it.
The diabolical's already on the outside.
Yeah, but, like...
Treasure doesn't change. She's like, did it do anything?
She's just the bulk forever. She's just that version that you just did, where you just, she's strong. That's it. Sirach just turns into Big Bird.
Sirach just turns into rock. Like, it's just a rock now.
I just feel like Talroth would be the shadow. Like, he would just vanish into night and stealth. He would just become stealth.
Okay.
That's an intriguing one.
So, there you have it. Oh, did you want me to find insecticide?
Do you have insecticide?
No.
I mean, if you want to look for it, I mean, it never hurts, to ask.
It was in the cart, right?
Yeah, that cart's got we left a couple things in there. We tried to lighten the load as best we can, but, well, at least as it currently stands, the previous owner is missing in action, presumably dead at this point. So that car might be up for grabs. Might be a bad investment for you.
No, yeah. What happened? Why am I not? Hello? Hello? Okay. Hello? Deepest Creeper's voice.
Wow, that potion of longevity might have taken you back a little bit, Screamers.
did.
You alright?
It took me way back to my youth. So, hold on. He'll go sniffing around. Where the cart had tipped over, he smells some of the residue of the insecticide. He goes, yeah, I mean, it's insecticide. I could make some more, but it's a little expensive. And yeah, this Burns guy, he's a weird dude. All of his potions smell like him. He doesn't smell normal.
Not normal how?
Sort of like... Okay. You ever been on a new ship? Like it has a new ship smell?
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
But imagine it was a classic, like an old ship. Like a 1,000-year-old ship, 2,000-year-old ship. But it smelled like new. It smells like new ship and mothballs, new and old. Same time.
So,
Well, we know the potion of longevity works.
Maybe.
okay.
Well, I think we're safe to say we're dealing with somebody much more complicated and interesting than we ever thought we were. If he's a con man, he's not a normal con man. But tomorrow, we can go try and catch him and find out.
Well, at least we do need to check with the rest of the caravan if they're willing to stick around for another few days.
I'll talk to Wyatt.
I was about to say, I think Wyatt might be interested in figuring out if there's something magical we can extract from this man.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm also looking at it as the wildlings might not be a little keen on waiting any longer than they already have. So,
I think this is where we part ways with them for a little bit.
They are going to move slower with those carts than we could just catch up with them on horseback. If we have to stall a day to figure this out and catch up with them.
We told him there's a possibility that we would be taking some side ventures, so it's not unheard of. Just a little bit sooner than we planned, I think. I'll just
And
let
if
him
they...
know.
Yep, I agree. And if they want to wait for us for a day, they can. And if they want to keep on going and pushing ahead for a day, they can. But I don't anticipate...
We're
this-
already
Yep.
5 days behind schedule for Wyatt's taste.
Yep.
We can catch up, right?
Treasure can carry us all and run.
We can find them, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Well, guys, I think that's where we're going to call it a night tonight. Thank you guys for a great game. Not what I was expecting, but I hope you had a good time. Deep dive investigation into what happened to Mr. Burns. Every time I say it, I think of Mr. Burns from The Simpsons.
Who shot Mr. Burns?
Yeah, I do. I wish I didn't, but I do. So, yeah. Well, I hope you guys had a great night. Thanks for hanging out. One more time, who's our winner for our giveaway?
It was our friend Ramar.
Yay.
Ramar83.
Awesome.
Already got it out. And then he ordered some stuff.
Aw.
So we're going to send him some orders along with his win
That's
tomorrow. So the original TPK sticker and this great limited edition patch, and then the compass is coming his way. So we're bundling up a bunch of fun stuff for him. So that'll be exciting.
Fantastic. So, yeah, super excited. I believe we have Storm King's Thunder tomorrow night, hopefully, fingers crossed. We are still working on figuring out what our fall lineup is going to be for shows. So if you guys are on our Discord and you have any thoughts, please drop those in the chit chat. Let us know. Content pitches, any of those
We have
channels.
the whole content pitches channel for that. Yeah.
Content pitches channel. Okay. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. You guys are wonderful. We love you. We appreciate you. We're going to see you tomorrow night. But until then, be cool.